also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Navy Dowdy & Associates now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-392-9595. 1-800-392-9595. Again, 1-800-392-9595.
Dr. Gorka here, and you know me. I am very cynical about products, especially those that claim to help people suffering from pain. So when I tell you that Relief Factor truly works, I want you to know that I mean it. I suffered from a stiff lower back for almost a decade, one so painful it made it difficult to kneel in church on Sundays. When I finally decided to give Relief Factor a try, I didn't ever imagine that I would find myself free of the pain, but that's what happened. Now I take Relief Factor every day. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio. Oh my God, there's just so many topics to discuss this week. One of the first things I want to talk about, I know you guys heard about the Louisville shooter. He killed 5 people. Guess what? He left behind a 13-page manifesto. Have you heard anything about it? Have you heard them talking about that he literally did this shooting, as it's alleged, as he stated in his manifesto, because he wanted the politicians to finally do something on guns. There's an article by Jordan Bird from the Federalist over at thefederalist.com. I'm telling you, you guys have to read it. They have a link connected to his 13-page manifesto. But I'm looking at the news, because I don't have the news at home. I can't watch Fox, CNN, none of those things at home, because I don't have cable. I don't even have the antenna to watch 257932. I can't even watch any of those things. But I haven't seen it. I literally went online looking to see if I can find anything about it. Nothing. I'm looking for you also heard that Blinken, there was a whistleblower, an ex-CIA official came out, that Blinken prompted infamous intel statement calling Hunter Biden laptop Russian disinformation. I don't hear about it. It's been on Fox. I haven't seen it on CNN or MSNBC. I haven't seen it on them. What the heck is happening to our country? We have all this information. If this was Donald Trump, if what's happening with Hunter Biden was Donald Trump Jr. or one of Donald Trump's kids or anybody that's closely related to Donald Trump, it will be nonstop on CNN, MSNBC, on all of the leftist channels. But they're quiet. And they're talking about, Joe Biden is getting ready to announce his next run for office. That's the news. They're lulling us to sleep. Cream Puff Jim, these are the people that you want to vote for? These are the people that you want to entrust to continue to run our country? Make it make sense. please make somebody call 312-642-5600. 312-642-5600. Make it make sense. All the chaos, what happened in Chicago. Make it make sense. And these people, the same ideology is continually being voted right back in without any repercussions, without anything happening. I'm trying to make it make sense in my own head. We want to talk about what's happening at the Supreme Court with abortion pills. You really think that's the issue? We're losing our country. We're losing it. And they are controlling the narrative. We are allowing them to control the narrative. Troublemaker, I really want to hear what you have to say about this control of the narrative and the Republican. And we're going to talk about later in the show. Josh Hawley, he was giving a speech at the Heritage Foundation, and he talked about the Republicans and how he doesn't think we're ready. Conservatives at a Crossroads, the name of the article. Josh Hawley wrote it. This was his speech, and I want to later in the show. I want to get into his speech because he's spot on. I was talking with somebody this week. We have no brand identity. We don't even know who we are as Republicans. As you can see, I have a shirt on. Frustrated Republican, because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that we continuously, even in our own party circles, continue to elect these people who have no clue how to fight. And I'm sick of it. You should be too. You know, they're talking about, we're all extremists. We want to go and fight and destroy the government. No, I want a government that works. We don't have that today. I feel like my inner Sean Thompson wants to come out. I think it was Sean I was talking to. We don't have that. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Fight. Troublemaker, please make it make sense.
Well, to respond to what you said earlier, when it comes to Joe Biden and Joe Biden's son, now, I scour the news. I think I watch a little more news than you. They have a slow drip of what's going on with the laptop and the documents and things going on over there on CNN. They mention it, but what they say is they have a whistleblower, but he hasn't provided the evidence. He's saying some things, but he hasn't provided the evidence. So they're not going to really
That's why I said what was alleged.
But they're not going to report on it because they haven't any official documents yet. Yeah, just like the laptop.
But did they do that with anything that came out when Trump was president?
It don't matter.
But no, I'm asking you.
No,
did they do that?
They ran.
That's my point,
ran
the
with
hypocrisy.
I understand. We all know they're hypocrites. But you want me to respond to what you're saying?
Go ahead. Because I'm
as far as the laptop is concerned, the director of the DOJ, Garland, he didn't release any evidence for all these years. So they didn't, as far as they're concerned, there's no there because they don't have anything to report on. I heard about the Louisville shooter, but nobody released anything about a manifesto like they do everybody else. So it's the control of the slow drip of evidence that we receive. And of course, we're going to call them hypocrites, but they really don't have it at hand. They have the evidence at hand that people leak, like a Bragg or whoever else, and they'll report on it once they officially get it. So we all know it's hypocrisy, but, we'll get it eventually. We still got 2 years before this man eventually gets voted in. Maybe something to happen before everybody starts running.
Yeah, but how can something happen if the media just continuously covers for them?
Well,
how do you get beyond that veil?
Well, we have to look to our own news sources, because I'm going to tell you this. Newsmax has been reporting on it constantly.
Oh, I do watch Newsmax.
Okay, they talk about it. OWN talk about it. The Blaze talks about it. We have news sources to look at. We don't have to keep concentrating on CNN and MSNBC or whatever. We get the information because I hear it. I hear about it every day. So we know about it. All we got to do is just keep on, paying attention to our news feed. But you say you want to make it make sense. I'm gonna make it make sense for you. But I got some stuff.
Well, we'll get into that. Is it about Chicago?
It's going to be about everything. You talking about frustrated conservative? I'm a frustrated black conservative, and I'm going to put it to you in a way that Only I can, because I got some issues too. We all have issues.
Yeah.
You know? Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw a tidbit out there. You know, first off, I'm gonna say it this way. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now.
You sound like a leftist.
And
like
if we don't get it, shut it down. No justice, no peace.
Okay, what's the justice you seek?
Rest in peace, my brother, Jayland Walker. I'm gonna tell you like this. Before I talk about him completely, this was a man that was officially, not ricochets, officially shot 50 times by 8 white officers. I have a moral to this story, but I got to start it out this way. But before I get to him, I got to talk about this 16-year-old black boy that was shot by an 84-year-old white man.
Okay, wait. Hold that. We'll talk about that when Rebeletti gets here. Remember that,
I know. That's when he wants to talk about.
Let's wait, because there was more to that case too.
No, I'm gonna tell you what's
no. There was more to that case. This guy had already had his home robbed.
I don't care. He looked out of the window, saw this young, unassuming, 140-year-old, 16-year-old black boy. Did not say hello. Did not say who is it.
Okay,
he shot through the door.
All right. Let's go to Jim, because that's nonsense.
He shot through the door.
Jim, welcome back to Black and Right.
Oh, hi, guys. I guess we're going to stand pat. It looks like Biden's going to ask that Tuesday. I can't wait for that. And it looks like Trump's going to win this nomination because nobody can beat him. And plus, he has to run because he has to try to win and try to pardon everybody in the country. Half the country has to pardon, including himself. So it looks like Biden and Trump. And I think that Biden looks like a heavy favorite to me. I don't know what you guys think.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be Biden. I think Biden's going to be gone. I think they're going to make a play. With all this that's coming down, they're going to force his hand and force him out at some point, sometime. Or, no, I just don't see it. I don't see it. With everything that he has coming out, I just don't see it, Jim. Biden's got to go. Thanks, Jim. You listening to Black and Right. Craig, Mike, Jim, hold the line. When we get back from break, I'll take your calls.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
A plus-size influencer named J-Bay. Air travel should be comfortable and accessible for everyone, regardless of size. The mistreatment of plus-size passengers is unacceptable. I give a disapproving look to anybody who looks to sit next to me.
Doesn't matter if you're fat, skinny, male, female. Well, do you give the look, don't even talk to me?
Yes, I don't want to talk to people.
Okay.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables, changing the world one life at a time.
I really love your product. I'm 38 years old. I'm a combat war veteran, so I've been through a lot. My body's been through a lot. I did 2 tours in Iraq. So now I'm a school teacher, middle school. I take it every morning, and I definitely notice the difference. I have more energy. I feel healthier. It worked for me.
Well, ever since I've been taking it, I've been feeling so much better. I have noticed the concentration has gotten better. I have more energy. I love it. I'm going to be a customer forever. And I'm completely happy.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
The Chicago Police Memorial Foundation is proud to support AM 560 The Answer. As a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation, the foundation provides support for the families of fallen and catastrophically injured Chicago police officers. To date, 599 Chicago police officers have lost their lives in the line of duty. Most recently, Officer Andre Lasso was killed March 1st of this year. Over $18 million in assistance has been provided to Chicago police families in need. To support the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, please visit cpdmemorial.org. Sign up for the Run to Remember happening June 17th, a 5K run walk, or purchase a raffle ticket to win a 2022 Dodge Charger Scar Pack Plus or $30,000 cash. Only 1,500 tickets will be sold. For more details, please visit cpdmemorial.org. That's cpdmemorial.org. Help provide financial assistance to the families of Chicago's fallen and catastrophically injured police heroes. Visit cpdmemorial.org. jimoswell.org.
Hi, friends. Jim Boswell here. Are you moving long distance? Whether it's 300 miles or 3,000 miles, moving is very difficult. I started Drive as a unique 5-star service that is sure to save you money, reduce stress, and make your move easier than ever. You rent the truck, you pack the truck, and we drive the truck. No waiting weeks for your belongings or paying unexpected fees. We even tow your vehicle. Business is simple. Make every customer's experience so valuable they can't imagine having done it without you. Visit WeDriveYourTruck.com, click on Request My Driver for a free, no-obligation quote in minutes. No hassles, no unwanted calls. Our goal is to be recognized as the best option and clear choice to safely move families throughout the United States. WeDriveYourTruck.com. Type AM560 in the Referred By box for a special discount. WeDriveYourTruck.com. The most valuable service in moving you didn't know existed.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker who's causing trouble already. Let's go to the phone lines. Craig from Mount Greenwood. Craig, welcome back to Black and Right. Craig, you there?
Yeah.
There you
Hello,
go.
John and Verlon.
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm doing well. And, hey, really glad you're on this subject here because I'll tell you what, it's something that really gets my attention about just how far from where we should be with regard to the United States of America, with regard to justice and with regard to doing right. Everything's upside down right is wrong. I mean, it's so messed up. And here's what my take is. This started back in the Garden of Eden with that demon, with the devil and everything. The devil's involved with all this stuff and everything. And you had in 1962, they kicked, because you got people that will serve Satan and everything. This is the leftists. They kicked God out of schools.
Yep.
You couldn't pray. You couldn't do in 1962. You can watch this whole thing, this movement, all the way to where we're at right now. The abortion stuff, everything. Those are all markers along the way to get where we are. We've got in all our institutions. It's no longer just a school. It's all our media. It's our justice system. What we're supposed to put our faith in, the trust of the government with the FBI, CIA, the government itself. All these organizations, all these institutions are loaded with anti-God, anti-American, anti-anything good. They're led by the devil, as far as I'm concerned. They basically, all they're out to do is destroy and kill and pillage. That's why Satan was called Diabolus, the liar. All they do is lie. That's why you're not going to get anything that will shed any truth. They will never take and let us hear anything that's thing. It only comes out by accident. They're out to lie and deceive. That's why people nowadays that go towards the left, go towards even like you can't be a Democrat anymore. My family, we're all Democrats. I was raised a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat anymore. There's no Democrat system. It's all socialist and Marxist and demons and everything. There's a lot of Republicans I don't like everything, but at least there's people of sanity and that will stand up for trying to fight for some justice and truth.
Yeah.
But our country gut shot where we're at now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can blame some Republicans too because they do the same thing as. I mean, it's what is that saying? They're two sides of the same coin. That's basically what's becoming with these parties today. So thanks so much for calling us, Greg.
I've never understood that comment. Raised a Democrat. You can't be raised a Democrat. My family's all Democrats. I'm the only Republican. You either gravitate to the issues that they're talking about or not.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, that's how.
No, I was raised a Democrat. You know why? Everybody in my house was Democrats. So you know how they raised us to be Democrats, to follow the talking points, to listen to what. Guess what? There's no such thing as even thinking about being a Republican in the household I grew up.
Me either. But the bottom line is being a Democrat is being part of a party. At 5, 6, 7, 8 years old.
Time out. Hold on. People are raised as Democrats. Oh. They are. That's just because you were never a Democrat. That dude. The pressures of growing up in the black community. All my friends were Democrats.
Mine too.
All my family members were Democrats.
You act like I came from Mars. Mine too.
No, but time out. But the whole Republican message wasn't even preached. We couldn't even have a conversation about anything left, right, or Republican at all. Wait, hold on. because my stepfather was a precinct captain, and there was no such thing. So you talk about being disowned. I would have been disowned. And there are a lot of people like that who are in these communities today. That if you that's why when you go into these communities and you you bring a different approach to these communities and give them something else to think about, they shift, they change. That's why you're seeing an implosion. Because you know what? Republicans, I never saw a Republican. The Republicans never came to my community to try to coerce me or change my viewpoint. That didn't happen back then. It's happening now because Republicans, at least I'll say for the most part, Trump, Ronald Reagan, these are people who understood that they had to change the mindset of the black community.
You are missing my total point. It's no raised with party values as far as Democrat. That's what it means, Democrat. You are raised with values. It's either values and principles, it had nothing to do with party. How you raised, whether you raise your family, take care of your kids, you school them, you send them to school, regular values. And I was raised with those values.
I wasn't raised with those values.
Okay, well,
that's the point. Okay, listen, you're speaking to your life experience. I'm speaking to my life experience. Guess what? In most black communities, they don't raise with values. It's about what you go into these communities, you go to these political meetings, these politicians come to, the only people that's coming to the black community, at least when I was growing up, were Democrats. I don't know what you grew up as, Dennis. Where were you?
My story's a little bit different. My story's a little bit different. So I grew up in a union household. My father was a union printer. Worked second shift.
Hold on, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
You're not on the mic yet, so he's working on it. Yeah, steal the lines then. Just steal the lines. Yeah, you're good to go. Go.
Am I on now?
Yeah, you're on now.
So I grew up in a union household, where it was Democrat household in Republican DuPage County, but I didn't really know that, right? My grandfather was a union foreman. My father was a union printer, same shop. I didn't really know I was a Democrat or Republican. They didn't really talk about it like that, but I knew I came from a labor household. My wife always kids around with me because I say I was raised in a blue-collar household. Mm-hmm. I always say my son is, but he's not, right?
Right.
But you're raised with blue-collar values, and I think that's what Verlon's talking about. Where are the blue-collar values? Right. Where's hard work, play by the rules, and let me do my thing and let government stay out of my way, right? Take care of the basic stuff. That's lost.
It's gone.
What party is that now?
The Republicans.
That's right. That's the Republican Party. That's why you see blue-collar cities that are more Republican than Democrat. That's why union members are more Republican than Democrat. But Republicans, you guys will call them establishment Republicans, don't like unions.
Right. I do. I still support them.
That's what I'm saying. And so when you're in a state like Illinois, that's you have to follow the bigger picture, but it's about how you're raised first. I was raised to respect authority, be that teachers or police officers or the neighbors, right? When you went to go play at somebody's house when you're 6 years old, if you got sent home, that was worse than anything else, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why are you home? So bigger picture is it starts at home, and then you curtail what you've learned into your next step. How does that play into politics? So are you grounded or not, John? Right. And I think that's what we have to look at, where we all come from. And that's what I talked to you about on the phone last week when I was on the House floor a couple weeks ago, talking to Democrats that you and I serve with who feel alienated by their own party because it's not a traditional Democratic party.
It's not.
Like how we were raised, right? What we thought were
Again, use the term raised. That's my point.
That's right. But I'm saying is, so there's nature and nurture, right?
Right.
But to me, my values have always been, and the people I've represented was, I worked hard. Nobody handed me these things. I did not come from a political family. And I was able to get to where I'm at based off of hard work, determination, putting everything you had into it, not taking no for an answer. Nobody said, here, I know you want to be in politics, so here's all these different things for you. It doesn't work out that way.
Right.
But in today's world, everybody thinks they start out at third base, and that they just need to have somebody tell them how to get to home plate.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go back to the phone lines. Mike from the North Side. Mike, welcome back to Black and Right.
Oh, my goodness. You guys got to chill out, calm down. Listen to your Uncle Cracker here. First off, change your music. Play some Randy Travis or some George Strait. That'll put you on the right road.
Okay. What's up,
man?
Mike?
First off,
Mike?
you got to walk away. You have to walk away from the Republican Party. If you had a guy on your team, your softball team, all he did was strike out and pop up, you get rid of him. You got to get rid of the Republican Party. I told you, there's plenty of room for you in the Chicago LGBT Party. Love guns, bacon, and Trump.
Well,
you can't fix.
I love that. I love all of that.
Stupid.
Hey, Mike, you don't see my hat. I actually have my MAGA Republican hat on, so I can join that party. I could be a part of that party. So.
But Mike,
I'm about to go.
Mike, a lot of people have tried. A lot of people have tried to start all these other parties, Green parties, and all the rest of it. It don't work. We have a two-party system here.
I'm about to go in the grocery store with my Trump 2024 hat, and they could love it or they can kiss my butt.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say what's happening in the country is a lot what happened in the fascist countries before World War II. They controlled the media. They're controlling the media now. They controlled government bureaucracy.
You hear your song?
You hear your song, Mike? You hear your song?
Never amen.
You got your own walk with music
Randy.
now. Hey, every time Mike from the North Side calls, he has to have this music.
I want to know if he's at
music.
if he go to Mariano's or Whole Foods right now.
Yeah, real quick.
Mariano or Whole Foods?
No, I'm going to Tony's. I'm going to
Nice.
Tony's.
All right, thank you, Mike. You listen to Black and Right. We'll be right back.
When two of the sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle sit down and go beyond the talking points. Find out on Tuesday, April 25th, when AM 560's Dan Proft goes head-to-head with Juan Williams from Fox News at Beyond the Talking Points, presented by Fox Valley Coins, live at the Meridian Banquet and Conference Center in Rolling Meadows. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream.
Fox News, I'm Laura Cantor. The Supreme Court temporarily allowing access to an abortion drug, rejecting a Texas court ruling.
What this decision does is ensure that the abortion drug mifepristone will remain freely available as lawsuits seeking to restrict it make their way through the lower courts.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. Former President Trump running again for the White House, speaking Friday night at the Lincoln Reagan dinner in Fort Myers, Florida.
We have to finish what we started. We were doing things that nobody thought possible. We have to finish what we started. And that means on the world stage also, because the world is laughing at us. The world is taking advantage of us like they have never taken advantage before.
The former president topping the Republican field in most polls. President Biden is planning to announce he's running again. America is listening to Fox News.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts: knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
Hi, this is Carl Amari.
I'm Lisa Wolf. Join us every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. for all things entertainment on Hollywood 360.
If you love classic radio shows, The Shadow, Jack Benny, The Lone Ranger, Dragnet, Gunsmoke, and many more, we have them for you on Hollywood 360.
We'll also present trivia contests with prizes, showbiz news, celebrity interviews, games, and movie reviews.
So don't miss Hollywood 360 every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're thinking about retiring soon, be sure to tune in to Retirement Decoded with Scott Tucker of Scott Tucker Solutions, Sunday mornings at 8. Scott talks about the latest trends and headlines that could impact your retirement. Make sure you're well informed before you retire. Listen every Sunday morning at 8 to Retirement Decoded with Scott Tucker of Scott Tucker Solutions. Investment advisory products and services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Have you been lied to? Lied to by politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Navy Dowdy from right here in the Chicago area, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth. Because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I said enough. I've discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Navy Dowdy & Associates now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-392-9595. 1-800-392-9595. Again, 1-800-392-9595.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560, The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor, Dennis Rebelletti. We were talking during the break about all of the shootings that have occurred with people trying to get in cars, people coming to people's houses, pulling into people's driveways. Most of these states have stand your ground laws, right, Rebelletti?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going to come into play, you think, in a lot of this?
It does. I know Verlon wants to talk about some of these things, but yes, it does come into play.
And we'll talk about that in the second and third hour.
Right.
Let me clear the phone lines because we have a couple of people that have been waiting quite some time. Jim from South Elgin, who's also a sponsor of this show. Welcome back, brother.
Well, good topic. Earlier on, you were talking about the old-time Democrats. You go back and listen to speeches of Hubert Humphrey and John Kennedy and things, and you'd think they were Donald Trump today, by the way. They were talking about saving tax and things. And so what's happening is the Democratic Party has become a bunch of Marxists.
Yep.
You know, they're supporting all this gender garbage. You know, one of the theories of communism is divide and conquer. So they want to divide kids from their parents. They want to keep people from growing up in healthy homes. And what they're doing is just awful. In fact, Project Veritas, even though James O'Keefe isn't with them, they just did an interview with a bunch of these people that are giving a gender-affirming care.
Yeah.
It's really awful what they're doing. I mean, all these puberty blockers and things and all these chemicals that are going to just screw people up the rest of their lives, it's horrible.
I agree.
And also, yeah. And also, there was a lady did a very sad video inside one of the now closed Walmart stores where she's in there and you can see all the garbage on the floor, all the shelves were vacant. This woman was crying because she couldn't buy any food.
That's the video you sent us, right? That's that video you sent us, right? Yeah.
Right.
Hey.
And this is the kind of thing where people are saying, oh, it's corporate greed. I don't think so. It's called survivability. Plus, you know, in San Francisco and these other places controlled by Democrats, people are looting stores blind, so the stores are closing.
Yeah, and Jim, not just that about Walmart. They said since they started opening up Walmarts in Chicago 17 years ago, they have not been profitable at all. None of them.
Right.
So if you're a business owner, you're going to look to see if what's being profitable. If you don't see any profit, you're gonna shed the bad weight, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
couple that on top of commercial taxes in Cook County are so expensive for commercial real estate.
Yeah.
It's nuts, you know.
And they want to make this a racial issue. It's not. It's a monetary issue. It's a fiscal issue.
Well, it is.
Well,
that it is.
Yeah.
But you got to understand the Democrats
Thanks, Jim.
want you to be a happy warrior. They want you to buy into the agenda. That's who Disney is for the Democrats right now. They got so much money, they will happily buy into the agenda. And they tried to force Walmart's hand to be the same. Okay, so what? You're wasting tens of millions. You a Fortune 500 company. You worth billions of dollars. You can buy into what we're selling.
Nope.
That's basically what they're trying to do.
I remember, if you guys remember back when Walmart was trying to move into Chicago, how much the city fought them.
Yeah.
Fought them.
Yeah.
And now they're fighting them not to leave.
Not to leave.
So what is the real message?
Because it was a union issue.
Right.
One of
They
them was a
weren't
union
union.
issue. Yeah.
Of course.
But you got to see how it's morphed. It's morphed into from what it was back in those days to now, like what Jim was just saying.
But it was jobs.
It's the agenda. It's all of the stuff that we talk about that they want Walmart to buy into. It's bigger than union now. It's about you need to buy into what we're selling.
I agree with that. I'm just saying is they fought them to come in, and they're going to fight them to leave.
Right.
Now I want to know how is Father Flagler's protest going on? And was it Evergreen
Park?
How's that coming along?
Right on 95th.
Did it happen?
Never happened.
Never happened.
Oh.
We talked about it. The media
Bloviating.
covered it, and then where did you go? Where were all the protesters? Because you know what? Nobody wants to protest it. They wish it was still there. The residents are the only ones that are getting screwed out of all this. And where are they going to go?
Yeah.
They're going to go to Evergreen Park.
And don't forget, Evergreen Park PD won't play that crap.
Well, that's right. Well,
they won't play that.
When you decriminalize retail theft,
yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
You tell everybody in the neighborhood or anywhere else for that.
Is it
matter.
1,000 now?
I don't know. I don't think
500
they
or
charge
1,000?
it. It used to
Yeah.
be. I know we passed it. I think we made it 500.
500, yeah.
'Cause it used to be 150.
Correct.
In the 70s.
Then it went to
never
250.
changed. Then it went to 250 or 300.
To 500.
Then it went to 500. And nowadays, I mean, most things you would get are even, they're pretty expensive. But we forget that people now run organized retail theft operations.
That's right.
And so it's not what Governor Pritzker talked about, where it's a mother who has a newborn who can't get food and diapers. It's not that. So what happens is we don't prosecute retail theft. We don't arrest for retail theft. Walmart can't allow the security agents to do anything. Yeah. And then we're surprised when they lose tens of $millions every year,
right,
and they have to leave the community.
Right. And to Kwame's credit, he was a big part of that retail theft because they have like a committee or
right. They worked on an organized crime
unit,
crime unit or issue to change it because the dynamics have changed. But the messaging is always for the poor person who can't make it. It's about equity. It's not about equity. It's about criminal behavior.
Hey, Rich Porter, he sent me an article that he wrote, and he has something in there that I thought was just amazing. I got it on the shirt. I don't know when I'm going to release it. Equity is the midwife of tyranny, and I believe that with every fiber in me because we try to equate equity and equality. Big difference. Mary Dawn, I apologize. I promise you, when we come back from break, you'll be the first ones we take. We'll be right back.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I wanted to tell you, you have an insanely great product there. I've never had more energy. Before I started taking this, I was having a hard time doing stuff. They think that I'm in my 30s now. I feel like it too. My son told me, Dad, I can't believe that you get up at 5 o'clock every morning. I said, yep, I have my Balance of Nature, and I'm ready to go. I told him, I said, start doing it now. Don't wait. That's one of my speeches every day. I tell everybody about Balance of Nature. God bless you, and keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing a service to the American people.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about 100% drug-free Relief Factor. I've been taking Relief Factor for years now to help me deal with pain in my body. My wife takes it as well. The reason we tell everyone we know about it is simple. We found it really works to help our bodies fight off the inflammation that causes aches and pains. Whether it's the pain of injuries you've sustained or just the natural pains from the mileage over the years, Relief Factor can help. I've never looked back. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference.
Turbulent times call for clear-headed insight. That's hard to come by these days, especially on TV. That's where we come in. The new Salem News Channel, the greatest collection of conservative minds, all in one place. Home to the people you trust. Dennis Prager, Mike Gallagher, Sebastian Gorka, and more. Refreshingly honest, always unfiltered. Streaming free on your TV 24/7. Intelligent analysis for intelligent people. Find what you're looking for at snc.tv. That's snc.tv.
For more than a century, AM radio has evolved to meet the needs of our community. In their car, at home, or on the job, more than 80 million listeners depend on AM radio each month. AM radio is also the backbone of the emergency alert system, which keeps us safe in dangerous times. It's reliable, free, and public safety depends on it. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
We now return to Black and White on AM 560. The Answer. Here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and White, because Hop Daddy gonna yell at me. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in the studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor prosecuting away. All right, I gotta go to the phone lines because I told Mary and Don I'll take them. Mary from Evanston, welcome back to Black and White.
John?
Hey, you there?
John?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yes, just quickly, because you have other people. I'm from Bridgeport, 1910. My grandparents from Calabria, Italy bought that house. Just to tell you, I know Bridgeport. I know the South Side. This is it. Lightfoot and Johnson do not want to give a negative name to these children, quote, out there. Now, I would love to know, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, how are they raising their children?
Uh-oh.
Are they permissive with their children? There's permissiveness going on outside there.
That's a good question. How do they raise their kids? I'm sure. Well, I'm sure they don't go to any of the public schools. If it is a public school, it's a magnet school or a private school. You know.
But they would not. They would not give it. They would be. I'm sure that they would not be permissive with their children.
No.
I'm almost sure of that.
No, that's a good question. Thanks so much for calling us, Mary. Let's go to Don from Naperville. Don, welcome back to Black and White.
Yeah, the concern about Walmart closing is that you're always concerned about commercial closing because then that tax burden is going to go on to the residents. So even the Plainfield and the Walmart in Plainfield North is closed. It's really sad to see, to be honest with you. But my point, the reason why I was calling, is I really feel like people have split personalities when they vote, right? I knew as a real estate agent, there are so many agents that I know of that maybe like they lean left, but they couldn't stand Trump. But they would tell me privately, oh, my gosh, if Biden gets in, we don't know what's going to happen with the economy. So people, have split personalities, and they ultimately vote with their conviction. Yeah. But we always kind of forget that Ronald Reagan started out as a very liberal Democrat, right? It's not like it's anything new.
He'd be establishment, too, today. He would not be a conservative today, based upon how
I have
it's
a question
defined.
for Dawn.
Go ahead.
Dawn, my wife is a realtor. She is at Caldwell Banker out of Hinsdale. She's been talking to clients about the new Joe Biden rule about those that are under 680, the credit score, paying less for their mortgage fees, and others who have better credit scores paying more. Have you got any calls about that?
Well, I know about it. It's going to be.
Wait. Let her answer.
Well, unfortunately, that's always been the case. I mean, because you're higher risk to the bank. But the scarier thing is really with the supply and the demand of what's happening, right? The demand has been so small that the prices are rising, and it's really closing in on the affordability of what the buyers can afford. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Is you're not going to cure inflation in regards to raising interest rates. So that's what they did. And that was the sole focus. And what did it do? Yeah. It just made demand higher. And then because you're raising the interest rate, those buyers that could afford maybe $300,000, maybe now they can afford $200,000. So you're the one creating the housing crisis. You're the one that's hurting the poor. And that's the point. I mean, at the end of the day, most people who know me know I call about special education.
Yeah.
I know a lot of left-wing moms. They all have one common denominator: special education sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. So business-wise, typically left-winging views and their policies hurt the poor. They hurt the most vulnerable. They hurt the disabled, and that's the reality. So at the end of the day, I think it was. I can't remember its name, but you're not voting you're voting on programs. You're voting on what you feel is successful and what's not successful, and there's data to support that. I don't really know where the debate is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, okay. Now you are right.
Thanks so much for calling.
You're right. Don is right on two issues. It will be housing crisis part 2, and you're voting on programs. It's designed. This is the way Joe Biden or whoever's around him designed it. People with bad credit scores will be uplifted by people with good credit scores, so they will be able to buy homes.
Right, that's equity.
That's equity.
It's social.
And
we all have the same credit score.
Inclusion is equity and inclusion at the same time. But that's the way he designed it. See, people are getting into interest rates and all. That has nothing. That doesn't factor into his thought process. It's if you have if you have a 700, it affects it. But that doesn't factor into what they're thinking. You got a 700 or a 680 credit score. This person down here has a 560, and he's just like right away from a 580 where he could buy a house, or a 600. Your credit score, they're going to take from it to give to that person so they can be included in the process. That is just as simple as that.
It was a mistake when George Bush did it. It's now a mistake when Biden's doing it. This is all about elections. Let's get back to what... It was
Bill Clinton that did it,
not Bush did it.
The Community Reinvestment Act was started by Jimmy Carter. It was a brainchild of Jesse Jackson's, and then it was expanded upon under the Clinton administration.
Don't forget, Bush was trying to push home ownership for people who really couldn't
afford it.
The economy was going great. What happened in 08 and 09?
Yeah, crash.
Double-digit unemployment. Home values went down. Taxes didn't. And it's the same circumstance that we're kind of at that precipice right now.
Stock market went up, though.
Stock market's up. But just remember, if you do the right thing, you're punished.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about equity, John. I look forward to sharing in the equity of other people's law firms without having to do anything for it.
That's right.
That's what equity is all about. You're an equity partner in a firm, real estate, accounting, law, real estate. I just want a part of it.
Wait a minute, you don't.
It's equity. But I want equity for life.
What about the disadvantage? You weren't disadvantaged.
What is that? Yes, I was disadvantaged. I didn't want to hear about what's disadvantaged.
Hold on, guys. That's why I said equity is the midwife of tyranny. That's where it births. It brings tyranny into existence. Robert, Dominic, I'm gonna take you guys when we get back from the break. We'll be right back.
This is Jerry Boyer for townhall.com. You probably know who your governor is, and your senators too, but do you know who your state treasurer is? Auditor General? How about your comptroller? Well, it's time to start paying attention because these officers have emerged as the new front line against the intrusion of politics into finance under the guise of ESG. On my podcast, Meeting of Minds, I recently interviewed John Moranti, treasurer of Nebraska, an agricultural state. He warns that the war against fossil fuels is now turning into a war against agriculture, as government and activists push companies to divest not just from the energy industry, but from industries that use energy. And farms use energy. Whether they know it or not, ESG activists would create a world where we are colder, more hungry, and in the dark. It's time to start engaging with the companies you own in your 401k. Remember, they work for you. I'm Jerry Boyer.
Publicpolicy.pepperdine.edu.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Maybe I'm foolish.
Welcome back to Black and Right on AM 560. The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker and the prosecutor. Looks like hour 2 is going to be something else because the prosecutor and that was just a sneak preview of what's coming up in hour 2. I think you guys are gonna go ahead. But before we go, I gotta get these. Let me clear the lines. Let's go to Robert from Bloomingdale. Welcome back to Black and Right.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How's it going?
Well, you know what you were talking earlier about Walmart and all that stuff. The bottom line is, you know, if there's high slippage in these stores, so then the bottom line is they're not making the retail values, and they're going to be cutting people and shutting down stores. That's just the bottom line of it. And then what I want to call and say also is that this is getting scary in Chicago with these flash mobs going out and terrorizing people on Magnificent Mile. And the mayor now, the new mayor, better get with the program and not worry about having a security guard and a social worker coming out to make homicide calls, because this is getting really bad.
You should have called about that in the second hour. But I'm gonna go back to your first point about Walmart. If you are a Fortune 500 company and you got billions and billions of dollars, why can't you help? Why can't you help the community?
Wait, time out. You're not in business to help to do that. You're in business for profit.
That's right.
If they let you do business in that community, you're supposed to give back to that community.
They do. It's called taxes, Verlon. I know you forgot about that. Corporate taxes, income tax, real estate tax.
Daddy, I want you to come on and say what you just said in my ear. Oh, okay. You know,
it's all about the stockholders.
There we go. That's what Huff Daddy just said in my ear. They have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders.
Oh, that's equity, though.
Works.
It's equity.
You all don't care. You don't want to help. Those are the words.
Ron, you got to help yourself. You got to go out and help yourself find a job. You can't depend on the government to do it for you, my friend.
God helps those who help themselves, Verlon.
If you see someone in need, you're supposed to lift them up. It's called a safety net. You don't want to be part of the safety net?
No. You get a job out there. They give you a job. You're supposed to do your job. You got to. These companies are out to make the dollar. The bottom line is to make a dollar, and they hire people. That's how the economy works.
We have one job.
Employ people, and people work. And the company makes money. The investors make money. Everybody makes money. That's how the American economy works.
Robert, I agree with you, but see, that's an old school way of thinking. Yeah. You and I were raised that way. We're all raised that way. Not now. Now we go to college, we learn that everybody else owes us something, and like Verlon wants, socialism everywhere, equity for everybody. Walmart owes everybody something.
Right. Let's go back. Let me clear the lines. Dominic from Chicago, Pace bus driver.
Hey, John, what's up, buddy? Hey, man, listen, I'm listening to your show right now, and my mind is just like flying all over the place. Let me tell you something about these people talking about corporate America and how they pay all these taxes. That's a crock.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you something, and I'm sure you know this. With Walmart, if you want to sell your product in Walmart, you have to have your drivers load their shelves. Is that correct?
That I don't know. I'm not.
No,
I'm not,
no.
I'm in the union.
No.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you do.
Hold on a second. Let me tell you something, okay? I'm in local 731 right now. I used to be in local 710 Teamsters Union.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I used to work at the airport. I'm not going to tell you on radio what I used to do because I was there for the whole. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, I don't want to put myself out there, but what I'm trying to say is that this is all a crock of baloney, and it's all because of corporate America and the Teamsters and the Democrats all get together
quickly,
and they destroy our country.
That's true. Dominic, Union, Chicago, thank you. Hour 2 coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
When your home or business has an insurance claim, the next step is very important. The claim process with insurance can be tedious, hard to understand, and difficult to navigate. You need someone working for you. You need a licensed claim adjuster. Why? The insurance company will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them, not you.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company. If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at CrosscomInc.com. That's CrosscomInc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app. Tune in, iHeart, and on Odyssey.
Decision is fast approaching. I'm Laura Cantor, Fox News. President Joe Biden is expected to announce his 2024 presidential re-election bid. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the White House with more.
President Biden spending the weekend at Camp David. Days ahead of that expected announcement that he's running for re-election officially this time, the White House did not want to talk about it. A new poll from the Associated Press says most people don't want Biden to do it again. 73% of all adults, in fact, don't want Biden to run again, and more than half, 52% of Democrats don't want Biden to run, although 41% of Democrats say they will definitely be voting for Biden if he is the nominee, and another 40% say they'll probably vote Biden if he's the nominee.
President Biden has been hinting at running for president again since late 2022. Meanwhile, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announcing he will challenge President Biden for the 2024 Democratic presidential nomination. Kennedy discusses why he made this decision on Cavuto Live.
I think, like my dad ran on principle. He did not believe that he could win. And his objective was to tell the truth to the American people, and that's what I'm going to do. And if there's an appetite for that, I'll be in the White House in 2025.
A Fox News poll shows that approximately 14% of Democratic voters would vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. A shooting in a D.C. neighborhood Friday night leaves 8 people injured, including a 12-year-old girl.
They're searching for suspects. We did see one person being taken into custody.
That's Fox 5 DC's Adrian De Piazza. Police are also looking for a black sedan from which rounds were fired indiscriminately. EMS said that all injuries sustained do not appear to be serious. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis seeking federal aid for Broward County flood victims after record rainfall earlier this month, severely damaging close to 1,000 homes. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Bundle up if you have to go out overnight. Going to be partly to mostly cloudy, chilly, freezing temps in the normally colder spots with that low dipping to 36. Cold tomorrow with low clouds, high 46. To kick off the new week Monday, warmer with clouds and sunshine, the high 55. A morning shower Tuesday, cool with a blend of sun and clouds, high 53. I'm Ruth O'Brien on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
I have 2 dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. Always itching. His paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time.
DINOVITE.com.
Dynavite.com. Dynavite is nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dynavite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dynavite dog, and he has 0 issues today. He won't eat his food without Dynavite. When I get out the Dynavite, my dogs actually salivate, like I'm getting them a treat. They drool over it. Dynavite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynavite from DINOVITE.com.
Hi, it's Sean Thompson. MyPillow is excited to bring you their biggest bedding sale ever. My friend Mike Lindell created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton. It's called Giza. It's ultra soft, breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you will receive 50% off Giza Dream sheets. You'll receive a set for as low as $29.98 with promo code LIBERTY. Go to MyPillow.com, use promo code LIBERTY. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, the MyPillow towel sets, and so much more. Call 1-800-489-0201, use promo code LIBERTY, or go to MyPillow.com. Make sure to use promo code LIBERTY. Say it loud, say it proud, LIBERTY.
Freedom and liberty are important to all of us in Illinois, from Rockford to Carbondale, from Quincy to Decatur. If you're looking for civil, intellectual conversations with those shaping the future of freedom, try the Future of Freedom podcast with me, Scott Bertrand. We speak with leaders across the country in the greater conservative and libertarian movements. In-depth conversations about where the next intellectual battles will happen across the country. It's the Future of Freedom podcast. Find it at americastalking.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony. If you missed that first hour, head over to 560theanswer.com, download the podcast. While you're at it, why don't you go and follow me on all the social media platforms. Head over to www.blackandrightradio.com. Pick up some of the merch that I've started to create. I got one of the shirts on right now. Before we get into the wang dang doodle of a lot of these shootings that have occurred over the past week and a half, what you know, Dennis, you just said as I walked in the door, you said I'm complicit in part of it, and you know one of the things that I listen, I'm not one of these people that want to get rid of the so-called establishment or the rhinos. No, I want to figure out how because Ronald Reagan got it. He understood the 80-20 principle, or 80-20.
Oh, he was a Democrat, too. He started out as a Democrat. I want to point it out to everybody who loves Ronald Reagan.
Right.
He's a Democrat.
Yeah, he was.
Donald Trump, Democrat, right?
Yeah.
Who became Republican.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I want to make sure we're keeping the score correctly here.
Yeah.
But I want to take
We're
on...
losing, though, because we
don't hate
understand
the Republican Party, because we don't like the leadership. We don't like anybody in it. We're all going to stay home. I am telling you, I've seen numbers in the local election in DuPage County, John, and they are terrible.
Right.
So every time Republicans stay home and complain about whoever the county chairman is, or your township chairman, or the state chairman, that doesn't mean I like these people or agree with them.
Right.
I told Verlon at the break, I have never in my entire life ever heard one Democrat at any level, from dog catcher to appointed office to president of the United States, ever speak ill of the Democratic Party.
They don't.
They will privately.
Yeah.
They'll never take to a microphone or a show and talk about it. We have no problem airing our dirty laundry out.
That's true.
We need to stand together. You may not like the candidate, but they're going to be a hell of a lot better than whatever Democrat's going to show up.
Right.
And the Democrats are willing to work with people like me in DuPage County now because they know I'm not afraid to work with other people. It doesn't challenge my Republican values or beliefs or how I was privileged, like Verlon said, because he knows. He knows.
Well, Phil called you privileged, too.
Oh, he did, too?
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
He
Maybe
wants to hear
hold
about
on.
your disadvantages.
He does?
Yeah, he's on the line,
Well,
too.
he is? Phil, hold on a second. How do you know anything about me? How do you know anything about me?
Ask me that question.
I don't have to. You already know. You can read my mind.
I'm the Caucasian whisperer.
That's right. I
didn't make it up. A caller said I'm the Caucasian
you
whisperer.
And Phil wants to know how I was disadvantaged? Really, Phil? I love when people want to ask me about it. My father used to be in a union. He would work 2 days a week because that was the most he could work in the 1970s. I remember struggling, parents fighting over making mortgage payments and barely keeping above water. But you know what, Phil? It's okay. He was a Democrat. Nobody came to save us,
Right.
but it's okay. You guys know everything about me. You don't know about how my parents struggled to keep our family above water. It doesn't matter to you. I'm a white attorney, which means I'm privileged, which means I came from wealth. Everything I have stood on the shoulders of my relatives to get to. And it took us generations to get here. But you know what? Take a shot. Go ahead. I don't back down from Democrats. I don't back down from opposition. But nobody knows anything about me.
Wait a minute. You're going on a riff right now. You do not understand that door that we have to kick open that's closed to us is open to you. Even if you did come from some kind of a situation where it was a little hard, it's not as hard as what black people have to go through.
What door is shut for black people?
You don't understand the mental door. What? You don't understand that mental door and that door that's closed in your face that you have to kick open.
Monica, listen, I do understand.
Karen.
I do understand. You know what I'm saying, though. But listen, what door? That's what I'm talking about.
Phil can explain it better than me.
Is this your phone, bro?
Yeah, it's my phone, bro.
Right.
There is no door that keeps black people from producing.
You just don't understand.
How I don't? I'm black.
Oh, I remember.
Ish.
I remember. Didn't there was a rapper who was on a show. He said, "Kids just don't understand."
Yeah. That was Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Right. What did he do?
Fresh Prince. Yeah.
He worked harder.
Making $20 million a year.
And then
a
he
movie.
smacked the brother right on TV.
He sure did. Kept talking about his wife.
That's right.
All right, let's go to you. So okay, let's clear
I
the
want
lines.
Phil to come in and tell me about my privilege.
Let me clear the lines with Bob and Kip, and then we'll get to Phil. Bob from Buffalo Grove, what's up, buddy?
Good to talk to you. I've been trying to get through to Sean and also to Dan and Amy, so thanks for taking this call. Are we going to see 1968 again? I'm alive. I was alive then with that whole election, and I'm seeing inklings that it could be very similar, specifically with regards to the Democratic Party. Johnson was going to be reelected, or not reelected, but run again, just like Biden. But then out of the clear blue sky, Eugene McCarthy steps forward to challenge him. And in the New Hampshire primary, McCarthy almost wins it, knocking off Johnson.
Okay.
Then Johnson decides not to run. And then Robert Kennedy decides to enter the race. And he starts to make movement.
Right.
Johnson's out, and Kennedy is looking like he might take it, and then sadly, Kennedy.
Come on, man. All right, hey, Bob, I need you to hurry and get to the point because we got more callers on the line.
I'm just wondering, are we going to see Biden get challenged in a primary?
Yep.
And somebody coming forward to really knock him off now. His son is trying.
Kennedy Jr. Robert Kennedy Jr.
No. You know what, Bob? I don't think you'll see somebody real.
Bob.
But you're going to start getting calls because I'm sure maybe Biden has a health issue or something where they have to start moving things around at the convention or post-convention. 1968, what do we have? Riots. We had a pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? We had a lot of turmoil. So here we are, the year I was born. 55 years later, look at some of the same stuff all over. History is cyclical.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I don't see Biden making it all the way through, but they're going to clear the field before they hand it off.
Well, before you go, Blexit from YouTube, he said it's going to be 1968 plus Summer of Love 2020.
Nice.
Can you imagine that?
Until you see somebody that they feel can come close to
Obama.
Until they find somebody that can come close to winning 74 million votes, you're not going to see anybody of substance step up to challenge Joe Biden.
I don't.
And you don't need one.
Rob. I don't think Michelle Obama will do it.
No,
I don't see her. I don't see her jumping in.
They're
in
just trying to call for her to do it, but she's not doing it.
They're too rich now. She's living comfortably. Yeah. I don't see her doing it.
That's way too much work.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let's go to Kip, and then we'll bring on Phil. Kip from Stillman Valley.
Thanks for taking my call. I love you all. Let me get right to it. Listen, we're living in the AI infrastructure of the federal government right now. If you really look at what had happened before the 2020 election, what happened before Obama was a senator in Illinois, before he won the presidency, and as a matter of fact, these same people are in charge of the White House today. Because that, I'm going to go on, the President of the United States, Mr. 10% that's there right now, is not running the country.
Big guy.
It's everybody behind him, and it's a Democrat National Convention. It's Perkins and Coie. It's all the people that were for Obama before he was the senator of Illinois.
Right.
And this is what we voted for in the country, and we're living through it right now. Everything that Obama said before he was president is you're living it today. Right. And to have anyone think that the government can have any kind of control over AI,
that scares me.
Just read the paper, listen to the news, and everybody has to follow what the narrative is. And thank
all right, really quickly,
everybody out there, thank you.
Thanks so much, Kip. But Dennis, when was the last time the president actually ran anything? It's the administration that actually runs the presidency.
Right. Well, we call it the deep state now, but it's the bureaucracy. And for all those of you who love term limits, understand that it makes the deep state and the bureaucracy even stronger. So unelected people will run everything and call all the shots. So that's what you should be more afraid of than AI.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you like this. They keep on talking about these people they throw in the race, like this Kennedy guy that got 15%. You can't keep putting people up that can't talk.
They're not trying to beat them.
Well, on that note, we'll be right back.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
We're trying to put together a list of must-see things for these new Marxists who travel to their Midwest Mecca, visit where the Columbus statue in Grand Park used to be.
You could go visit Magmile and how it's now a ghost town resembling Detroit.
I am looking forward to the Hyatt running the Pritzker Break-A-Leg all-you-could-eat buffet.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
The Balance of Nature that, now it's over a month, and I call it more of a consistent level of good energy, and just seems to really be helping as far as, the skin. It's mostly on my face because I haven't changed any other thing in the routine as far as skincare, so it has to be the Balance of Nature. And just, really helping to regulate my body in other ways, truly. And even like in terms of the focus, it's been great. So I'm definitely an advocate.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Have you been lied to? Lied to by politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Navy Dowdy from right here in the Chicago area, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth. Because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I said enough. I've discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Navy Dowdy & Associates now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-392-9595. 1-800-392-9595. Again, 1-800-392-9595.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the 100% drug-free Relief Factor. We all deal with aches and pains in our day-to-day lives, and I have had my fair share, including injuries like a detached quad muscle that I can tell you fell into the category of really bad pain. But I've been able to manage the pain by taking Relief Factor. It helps your own body to attack and fight off sources of inflammation, the source of most of our aches and pains, and I've loved it for years now. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick starter pack for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com, call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey. That's right.
Black and Right continues on AM 560. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio. Let's go straight back to the phone lines. Rosanna from Springfield.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. You know I'm a weird bird. I'm a Latina.
No, you're not.
My parents' first language was Spanish. I was a Teamster Union steward on Navy Pier.
Jeez.
I was an IBEW Union steward for the phone company. But I was about the working man, defending the working man, and that's not what unions are about anymore. Yeah. Dennis, I just want to say to you, I signed up for the Republican Party platform because that's what they offered me, and so that's what my pushback is about. You know, you guys talk about elections, but I haven't heard you talk too much about election integrity, which I'm involved in. The not-for-profits have made 101 ways to steal an election. That's why I believe we are not winning elections. If you knew what I knew, it would make your hair fall out, number one. But I hope and hope, and I hope in God. That's why I keep on keeping on. And Verlon, Kennedy has stood up against vaccines. Yep. I have great admiration for him. He stood up against this monster at his own peril.
He did.
And he is a modern-day hero.
Yeah. He did. No, that's all facts, and you can't dispute what he was able to do in spite of his own party telling him to shut up.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
Thank you so much for giving us a call.
Ask Willie Wilson. You have to be able to talk.
Oh God, you really?
Yeah.
Did you just really?
Yeah,
hey,
I
don't
did.
Don't shoot a shot.
I'm sorry. I call balls and strikes.
All
you know
right.
I do.
All right, now okay,
wrong.
All right, I'm just gonna step back. I'm going to introduce this caller. I'm just going to step back. Phil from Blue Island.
Okay, Phil, do me one favor. Just do me one favor. Let me get this out. Because John shut me down in the first hour.
Because we weren't talking about it.
All right, we are now. We started the whole first 20 minutes.
No, don't say I shut you down. Are we talking about it now?
Okay, I thought the first hour was going to be dedicated to all the bad stuff that's been happening. Wrong. Okay, well, I was wrong. But fine. Before I get to Jalen Walker, that brother that got shot 50 times officially by 8 white police officers and got let off the hook because the no bill was returned. And for people that don't know what a no bill is, a no indictment, I want to talk about Ralph Yarl, 16-year-old, 140-pound, unassuming black boy, that this 84-year-old white man looked out his window, seen him. I don't know if he shot through the door, opened the door. It's a dispute and what happened. Shot him. Didn't say, who is it? Hello, what are you doing here? Anything. And then stepped out onto the porch, shot him again. It's a miracle that boy is still alive. And I swear to God, I hope this man rots behind bars. Phil, I just wanted to set that up. Go right ahead.
Wow. He's 80, so, he's writing already.
84.
84. And I think the victim was actually 14.
He was 16.
Okay. A boy. Well, at least we can agree on that. Mr. Revelletti, with all due respect,
I know what that means. With all due respect, I already know what that term means, sir. But go ahead.
I'm about to slam you, but with all due respect.
Right. We have a different word in the legal community what that means, but I can't say it on the air. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, we may have different terminologies or understanding. Now, I asked the question about your disadvantages, and I'm just curious to know. That's why I just asked the question: what type of disadvantages have you had to deal with? If it wasn't your disadvantages, what about your parents or your parents' parents? What disadvantages did they have to overcome for you to be where you are today? And if you look at the other side and to consider the disadvantages that my ancestors had to deal with, like equal treatments in the courtroom, in the classroom, in the labor market, at the ballot box, while we were always demonizing blacks seeking political clout or governmental assistance or reparations to help level the playing field. Now, I hope that wasn't too much of a mouthful, but when you talk about your disadvantages, and I talk about my disadvantages when it comes to my parents, my grandparents, and their parents, is there anywhere equal to the disadvantage that I had to face to compare to the disadvantages? When I say I mean my family, compared to what your family had to face.
Well, first of all, you take a lot of liberty with where you think I come from. So you paint a broad brush. You're like Verlon. You know what white people think. You know what white people come from.
Phil, let him speak.
So here, how did my family come here? Well, first of all, before they came over from Europe, the Nazis overran their farms and their homes, and then they had to escape all of that in World War I and before World War II, right? So you don't know that, but you can. That's a pretty easy thing to overcome. So my ancestors just had it pretty easy, right? They had everything stolen from them. Then they came over to find a better life. And my grandfather, at 9 years old, worked in the coal mines in Pennsylvania before he came to the back of the yards neighborhood. You know where that is, Phil, right? And he worked in slaughterhouses, right? Because at 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, that's what kids should be doing, like they are today. So he did that. Remember the signs that said "No Italians Welcome"? Do you remember that, Phil? No, you don't want to teach that part of history because your party won't even allow Italian American History Month to be called the month of October. But that's okay because it's okay to discriminate against Italian people because we're white and it doesn't matter. I'll stand up for the Italian American community, and I'm going to stand up for how my family came around. So then my father, who was so privileged with his 5 brothers and his parents in a 1-bedroom apartment on the west side, that was living in luxury until he made it out into Elmhurst, where he moved with my mom, who was fortunate enough to be born in a family where her father, my grandfather on my paternal grandfather, landed at Normandy and took shrapnel, Phil, for you and your family at the Battle of the Bulge, while my 33-year-old other grandfather was fighting in Japan, ready to assail the island of Japan, where he fought at 33 and could have taken a pass. But you know what they did? They didn't let anything stop them. They had high school educations or didn't even have high school educations. They wanted to learn English and become Americans. But if that's privilege, then I'm guilty as charged. I was raised to work hard and to do better than the last generation and to take care of your family. If that's privilege, Phil, then so be it. But I will not be lectured by somebody about some general thing about ancestry. I will speak about my ancestors and how they set me up. I was the first of my family to go to college and barely did that.
John, you're not going to let him do this, are you?
No, he was making his point. Now you go ahead.
Well, you continue to let him just ramble on and ramble on. Can I jump in?
Phil, I think you do that all the time, but go ahead.
But can I jump in for a
I just said go right ahead, brother.
All right, thank you very much. See, what I'm talking about is the systematic disadvantages that black people have to face, even if we fought from the freaking Revolutionary War. We fought in every war in this country. Every war. Every single war we fought in. And we still have to face, again, I'm talking about the systematic disadvantages that my family and my foreparents had to face here. Now, you're talking about everything that you all have had to go through, but you consider, I'm just asking you to consider the disadvantages and everything that my parents and my foreparents had to go through. You can't even speak to that. You speak about Italians. You speak about all these other different type of races of people of white race. But I'm just asking you to consider just the fact that we've had to, again, equal treatment in the courtroom, classroom, labor market, ballot box. Just those to name a few. That's all I'm saying. If you can compare what you all had to go through as far as disadvantage.
Who's you all? I don't know what that even means.
I'm talking about
white people.
I'm talking about all
black
people.
Does that mean Latinos then too?
Yeah.
If Latinos can today put on there as far as white Mexicans, and they can vote, and they can live next door.
Phil, hold the line. Because I'm sure Valon has something to say about that. And Valon set you up on a whole totally different topic, and you went left. You just ignored Valon's point. Valon, you just threw your hands up in the air, right?
Yeah.
You're listening to Black and White Radio. Blexit, Valon has issues with a lot of people. And Willie Wilson, I have no idea what he has with him. Maybe Valon can tell us. We'll be right back.
What happens when two of the sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle sit down and go beyond the talking points? Find out on Tuesday, April 25th, when AM 560's Dan Proft goes head-to-head with Juan Williams from Fox News at Beyond the Talking Points, presented by Fox Valley Coins, live at the Meridian Banquet and Conference Center in Rolling Meadows. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by Blue Label Cigar Lounge in Lockport.
Fox News, I'm Laura Cantor. An abortion drug will still be available for now.
The Supreme Court rejects a lower court's decision to suspend the Food and Drug Administration's approval of mifepristone, granting an emergency request from the Biden administration and the maker of the drug.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. The case returns to a lower court in May. President Biden is expected to announce he'll be running for re-election in a short video next week. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson.
This has been months in the making. The White House says it doesn't even want to talk about it, though. A new poll from the Associated Press says most people don't want the oldest president in U.S. history to run again. He would be 82 at the beginning of a potential second term.
A full 73% of adults say they don't want him to run again. But 41% of Democrats say they will vote for Biden if he's the candidate. America's listening to Fox News.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
We live in a high-tech world, yet nature is so complex that it's impossible for humans to even come close to duplicating it with all the technology in the world. Witness the spectacular things we see in nature and how they should inform one's faith in the latest book by Jeff Tischler, High Tech versus the Highest Tech. This 78-page paperback book is a must-read, packed with fascinating facts and colorful illustrations, laying out undeniable evidence for intelligent design and an all-powerful creator. And High Tech versus the Highest Tech is written in a way that all age groups can understand and enjoy. Get the book High Tech versus the Highest Tech by Jeff Tischler, offered through Milk and Honey Ministries for just $9.95, plus shipping and handling, with 100% of the proceeds going to missions. And for a limited time, $1 from each book sold goes directly to Food for the Poor. Order your copy today. Call toll-free 1-800-733-9262. Also available from Google Books or your favorite online bookseller. Special rates available for schools, churches, and mission outreach.
Want to remodel your kitchen or bathroom? There's only one name to remember: ForEverRemodeling.com. Not Core Ever Remodeling or Door Ever Remodeling or Explore Ever Remodeling. It's ForEverRemodeling.com. Need an addition or whole home remodeling? Don't call 1, 2, 3 Ever Remodeling. It's ForEver Remodeling. Want to finish your basement but don't know where to turn? It won't help to think of Store Ever or Snore Ever or Score Ever Remodeling. You want ForEver Remodeling. ForEver Remodeling is your go-to for the highest quality kitchen, bathroom, whole home remodeling, room additions, and basement finishing. So don't go to Decor Ever Remodeling or Implore Ever Remodeling or Dinosaur Ever Remodeling. When you're ready for your project to take off, go to 1098765 ForEverRemodeling.com. That's the number 4EverRemodeling.com. Again, the number 4EverRemodeling.com.
Back to Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560. The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the troublemaker, Belon Galloway, prosecutor Dennis Reveletti. Joining us by phone, Phil from Blue Island. Conservatives just don't understand.
John,
what?
All right, listen. We've got way off topic, and I got two other cases and an overall summary that I want to get to.
And Phil ignored you.
I understand. I want to, because these people aren't being done justice, and I'm trying to give them some justice. This young 16-year-old black boy that got blew away by this 84-year-old white man for no reason at all, but ringing the wrong doorbell. He was on 115th and Terrence, which you can mix that up easily, avenue, street, or place. And he went trying to pick up his two.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about Ralph Yarl.
Wait, that's the guy that was shot in a rural area.
He was in Ohio.
Right, it was rural. It wasn't a city.
No, it was blocks. It wasn't rural like that. The white couple that I'm going to get to got shot in a rural area. Okay, now but this 16-year-old boy, he was going to pick up his twin brothers. He was on the wrong block. All he did was ring the doorbell. The man didn't say, "Who is it? Who are you?" Whatever. The man, whether he opened the door or shot through the door, He shot him in the head. Then he walked out here, shot him in the arm, and said, "Don't come around here." So I don't know what he meant by that. Maybe because his only crime was being black, and the man shot him, and it was racist.
Now I'm confused now. So this is the 84-year-old guy that shot the 16-year-old, right?
Yes.
Okay, he shot through the door. Did you read any of the there was a statement given to the police by what's his name? Lester? Wasn't that his name? Oh, this happened in Kansas City, Milan. That's what happened.
Right. Andrew Lester is the shooter,
right,
or the homeowner.
So, according to a probable cause statement, Lester told investigators he was scared to death by Jarl's size and his inability to defend himself at age 84. He told investigators he was in bed when he heard his doorbell ring and grabbed a handgun before he answered the door. Lester said he believed someone was attempting to break in his house and shot him through an exterior storm door within a few seconds of opening the main door, police detective writes in the court document. That's what Lester said.
And he stepped out. It's been the reports, and he has the proof in his body that the man stepped out on the porch and shot him again. He had to scurry off to another neighbor. Those neighbors was weary too, but they made him wait until they called police, and that's how it all happened.
Wait. Tell me. So he was shot twice, right?
He was shot twice.
Okay. According to the victim, he stated that the male inside took a long time, but finally opened the door holding a firearm. He stated he was immediately shot in the head and fell to the ground.
Right.
Ralph was shot twice with bullets striking him in the left forehead and right arm. So I don't see anywhere where it was reported that he stepped back outside and shot him again.
Okay, well,
who reported that?
Entertainment Tonight and a few other news feeds that I saw. CNN said the same thing. I watched every news feed that would talk about it, and they said that. So either way it goes, stand your ground does not apply to this 84-year-old white man. He saw that little boy, and he was not assuming and big. He tried to say that he was breaking into his house. Did you hear that? Did you hear that too? He was. I saw pictures of that little boy.
But do you know why he said that? Lester. Remember. Totality of I look at the totality of the circumstances. I don't care what color the person is. As somebody who's in former law enforcement, I look at the totality of the circumstances. The color does not. I don't look at the color.
That 84-year-old white man saw color, and he shot him. Tried to lie and say he was breaking into his house, which no evidence. The police looked. It was no evidence he was breaking into his house. It was stupid.
Right.
He lied.
Milan, were you there?
Hey,
wait. Did you see the scene because as a responding officer, I'm going to look at everything. I'm going to look at lighting. This matters. Remember, totality of the circumstance.
Lied. He was not trying to break into his house. He was trying to pick up his two twin brothers, and he went to the wrong house. It's easy to see 115th and Terrence, whether it was Avenue, Place, or Street. It was just a mistake. He rung the wrong doorbell. The man didn't say nothing to him. He just tried to blow him away. It's just that simple.
So it doesn't matter. I
don't care about no lighting. He saw a black man on the porch.
Oh, God. Go ahead.
Well, on the show, I've been accused of, simply as a former prosecutor, going to work every day is to lock up black and brown people. But again, that being totally untrue, and I can't wait to talk about the shooting in North Carolina where the black man shot the 6-year-old girl.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
we are going to talk about it.
So everybody has to rush to judgment, right?
Yeah.
So the media talked about the fact that Ralph Jarl, who of course nobody wants him shot, nobody wants that to happen, but these circumstances happen. He rings a doorbell. He allegedly pulls the door. I'm not there, nor were you.
That's the point.
And so the media said he just simply rang the doorbell and the shots go out, which is terrible. That's murder. Now we have to wait for the grand jury and the evidence and the testimony before we rush to judgment. Every time we rush to judgment, we have failures.
Yep, we do.
And that's how you get wrongful convictions. Yep. That's how you get problems. That's how the system fails. But because we have 24/7 media, we need to arrest people immediately.
And Milan and Phil, you both get to respond to what Dennis just said when we get back for the break. I'm telling you, Milan, you can't say this was about race. You weren't there. We don't know all the evidence. We don't know how do you know you could even see as he came to the door? How do you know what the lighting is? We don't. We'll find out. We'll be right back.
just like I'm Peter. Gotta protect.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Well, yes, I feel great. I have more energy, and I just went to the doctor's on Thursday, and he sat me down, and he said, what are you doing? Everything is like a 30-year-old. I said, well, I'm on Balance of Nature. He said, I've heard of that. I said, I've been on it for 6 months. It makes me feel better. It's definitely changed my life in a huge way.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts: knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
Between the Consumer Price Index, inflation, and job reports, it feels like you need a PhD in economics to fully understand the economic news happening around us every day. That's why you need the Everyday Economics Podcast. Join host Chris Krug and economist Dr. Orphe Devungi as they help you understand the economic world happening around you every day. Listen to the Everyday Economics Podcast at americastalking.com or wherever you get your podcast.
More than 80 million Americans depend on AM radio for their news, traffic, weather, sports, and a community connection. It's the backbone of the emergency alert system, keeping us safe in dangerous times. It's critical that we keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free emergency service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio. Okay, I got to talk about what just happened. Now, y'all, Valon, during the break, said that he could see someone. He could see. Wait, what did you say, Valon? You could see white people in the dark.
Say what you
I'm gonna say what I said. See white people better.
That's what I said. You can see a white person better in the dark than a black, a little black boy, because the boy is dark.
Okay,
now, that's what I said.
Okay,
and then when George stepped into the dark hallway, I looked.
You could barely see him.
I could kind of see him. Kinda, but better than a dark person. I wouldn't have saw anybody
Counselor?
dark.
What does the word counselor do in the court of law?
Well, we don't take this conjecture by you, sir.
Okay.
And you've impeached yourself now
because
you thought what you saw is not what you saw.
That's the point.
And so we have to go back in time, frame by frame, which is how all the Monday morning quarterbacks in these shooting cases come to it. Just like the officer with Adam Toledo, he dropped it, then you shot him. It wasn't like he was sitting there dropping the gun and 3 minutes later he shot him.
Right.
So we have to understand what the lighting was like that day, where this 84 years old, he came, what he heard, how he was his actions reasonable?
Was it?
Because, again, self-defense is based on reasonable belief of receiving a battery that would grave injury or death. So we had to put all those things together before we rush to judgment. Or in Kansas City, simply indict somebody right away because the media is on your behind.
Wait, let him finish.
Who ascertains an alarm by just opening the door and shooting somebody without saying?
That's not how it went.
Hello. He didn't say a word. Anyway, listen, we both did too much talking. I want Phil to go ahead and respond.
Bring Phil back.
Yeah,
he's on.
Okay. Well, it begs the question, right? He's 80-something years old. And I'm going to ask Reverend Liddy. I don't know if you were ever told this, and I'm not making an assumption. I'm just asking the question. Were you ever told that black men or black boys were dangerous? Just growing up.
No.
When you're younger. Okay. Do you believe that some white people have been telling their children or offspring something similar to that?
Here, I'm not going to get into that as to what I think other people may tell somebody. If you want me... I'm not going to speculate onto that. Why?
That's the conversation.
You're asking me a question I can answer for myself. So
okay, you say no. I'm going to take that and just assume, not personally.
Right, you're going to assume. Okay.
But no, wait a minute. Let me finish. Come on, I'm not cutting you off. I'm just saying that it's not a surprise that some white people tell their children to be afraid of black men, especially black boys. And so this 87-year-old man, if I'm understanding correctly, I guess he was robbed before, home invasion or something.
Well, that's what he said.
Right. And so he was already in fear. And so this time he just came to. So, again, in this incident, he was wrong for shooting this little boy. I mean, he's not just a little thug, right? He wasn't his pants hanging off.
Well, this guy didn't know this. This guy didn't know this. That's the point, guys. The motive is not there for you. Wait, the motive is not there for what you guys are trying to build. That this was racial.
Well, let me finish my point. Now, if he came in looking like a thug, I would understand that.
What does that even mean?
Pants hanging off, maybe bandana. But this guy is an accomplished musician. He's a good son. He's picking up his twin brothers. He's a responsible young man, and he did not deserve.
Did the homeowner know that?
Right. No,
Philip.
And from the appearance of his parents, he's a immigrant. I don't know what type of immigrant, African or Jamaican or whatever, but he sounds like one of the immigrant community that we welcome here. We want to come here. That does all the right things and prospers in the American dream. Oh, God. So you can believe what you want. But I got common sense, and common sense tells me the man, and I got an overall point, Dennis, that I'm going to get to.
Wait, time out. You can have common sense, but there's a reasonable standard too. There's a reasonable standard too here, as well. So,
John, make your point because you're not making it very well.
What? Because
make your point. You're defending this white man, so make it defensible.
Can somebody tell me what?
Wait, so Phil, can I ask you a question? Phil? You know, I do criminal defense work, and I have black clients, and I have Latino clients. So I defend all of them the same. You know that, right? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you assume I don't. I don't treat any of my clients different. You would hope I would?
Wait, hold on. This is what I'm defending, Phil. Due process. Okay. Due process is on the line here. And if you anybody that's been listening to this show, when these type of incidents happen, I defend due process. I don't listen. If he's found guilty, listen, I'm not losing any sleep over this. But what I want to defend and what this country is failing to understand is due process. That's dude. We ever lose that? You want due process for black people, but you don't want due process for somebody else. That's foolish and asinine.
I want due process for everybody.
You do not. This man is guilty.
Wait a second, Phil. Didn't you just say that John was sticking up for the white guy? What does that even mean?
It seems like, listen for a second. I want to answer. It seems like every time a case like this, and I'm sure Verlon would agree with me, that it seems like John tends to lead towards law enforcement, and he seems
I do, and I'm not going to lie there. Yes, I do. Right. I unapologetically defend law enforcement.
Well, here.
I am unapologetic.
Towards homeowners with guns.
What? I don't know if he leans towards homeowners with guns. I think everybody has the right to defend themselves. But I'll tell you this, Phil, as somebody who ran a grand jury and appeared in front of a grand jury on thousands of cases, I presented law enforcement to testify. I presented lay witnesses to testify. And I let the 23 people from Will County listen to the evidence and let them make decisions if there was enough information to go forward.
All right, we got to go. Phil, thanks so much for joining us this week, brother. Appreciate your perspective. You listening to Black and Right Radio. I will defend cops first. You right. Bye.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, commercial property, or even vacant land, let attorney Susan J. Kim step in. She's reliable, responsive, personable, and extremely thorough when helping you deal with an otherwise stressful transaction. Attorney Kim leads with her values and is committed to providing legal services with excellence. To contact Attorney Kim, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com. Whether it's drafting agreements, negotiating contract terms, or closing on a property, Attorney Susan J. Kim can do it all. Over 10 years of experience and her wealth of knowledge tackling complicated legal negotiations and breaking them down into a smooth, easy-to-understand process is what she does best. So let Attorney Susan J. Kim step in. To schedule your legal consultation today, visit sjkimlaw.com. That's sjkimlaw.com or call 847-906-3166. Susan J. Kim, attorney at law, is a state of Illinois licensed real estate attorney.
Hi, it's Amy, and MyPillow's excited to bring you their biggest bedding sale ever. Our friend Mike Lindell created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Hey, Mike found the world's best cotton called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And get this, Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you will receive 50% off the Giza Dream Sheets. You will receive a set for as low as $29.98 with promo code Amy. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Amy. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including my favorite, the MyPillow 2.0, the mattress topper, MyPillow towel set, and so much more. Call 1-800-489-0201, use promo code Amy, or go to MyPillow.com and make sure you use promo code Amy.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. I need a 120 life. Damn, Prof. Sean Thompson, I know you listening. You need to have your 120 life sent here so I can take it.
Nothing like it. The only thing Sean's gonna give you is a cigar. He's not gonna buy any 120 life.
I believe they sponsor him now.
They do?
I think I heard him talking about it. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay. But look, listen, I'm gonna tell you why I give cops benefit of the doubt. First of all, I was one. I understand the job. I understand what it's like to be in the heat of the moment, having to make split-second decisions. I understand that there's an attack on law enforcement like they've never seen before. And you know what? I will look to see a case, and I'm going to believe what the cop says initially. I will. You know what? I make no apologies about that. Until you've been in that position and have to make those split-second, there's no other profession. Name another profession where you have to make a split-second decision. Wait, no, time out. This is my flow right now. No, time out. No. Name another profession where you have to make a split-second decision, and you have to be judge, jury, executioner, teacher, therapist, everything at that one moment. I will continue to support the men and women in blue, and guess what? I don't care. And when they're wrong, I'll call them out like I've always done. Hold on, man. I'll give you.
Director.
I'll give you. I'm sorry. What you say, Hoff Daddy?
I said NASA flight director.
Right. When they're wrong, I call them out. I have no problem calling bad policing out. Good cops hate bad cops. That's a fact. I know it. I've seen cops who've reported. Just because you don't know about it, I've seen cops report. I've reported on a bad cop. It happens. We don't let that out because that's a blue line.
Oh, yeah, we know about
because
that.
Guess what? It's a strong line. And it's a line that a lot of people can't even, will never, ever be able to stand on. Because until you've been there, you'll never understand it. Now, go ahead.
Okay, let me hurry up and say it. Well, since you went back to this, because you signed off with Phil this way as far as defending cops, a no indictment was returned on the 8 white police officers that shot Jalen Rose 50 times. Now, I understand that the man took one shot at him before the chase happened, but they chased him for about a block. They knew he did not have a weapon on him. It was not a split decision like you're saying right now, and the man was officially shot 50 times. How many times do you have to shoot somebody before you know he's down and out? They still didn't release the evidence if they stood over him and shot him. I doubt that he was running for a block with 50 bullets in him. I still want to see the evidence. Did they stand on top of him and take his life and snuff his life out? They let these 8 white cops off the hook.
Wait. I love how you discounted and threw away. He might have shot at them right before.
No, I said he did. I understand.
That's everything.
He did shoot at him once.
That's everything to a cop. Tunnel vision kicks in. That's a real thing. No. Okay. You ever been there? You ever been in a situation where you've had to chase somebody's blind?
No.
Have you ever been in a situation where you had to pull your weapon out?
No.
Have you ever been in a situation where you put your finger on the trigger?
No.
Was getting ready to pull?
No. You asked me a question.
I've been in circumstances where I had to review all that stuff and make decisions based on what police officers did and interview police officers and interview lay witnesses. But in emotion, which both of you are talking about, John is going to defend the people that he served with and will do that to his dying day. In Verlon, you have a point where you'll simply defend the complete other side. But now, let's get to hour 3, where we dissect some of this stuff. We take the emotion out of it.
Right.
Talk about facts.
Correct.
And circumstances, not what the media tells us to think about.
And remember, 8 cops, 16 in the mag, 1 in the chamber. 8 cops. That's a lot of rounds going down range. We'll be right back.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about 100% drug-free Relief Factor. I've been taking Relief Factor for years now to help me deal with pain in my body. My wife takes it as well. The reason we tell everyone we know about it is simple. We found it really works to help our bodies fight off the inflammation that causes aches and pains. Whether it's the pain of injuries you've sustained or just the natural pains from the mileage over the years, Relief Factor can help. I've never looked back. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app. Tune in, iHeart, and on Odyssey.
Access will continue for now. I'm Laura Cantor, Fox News. The Supreme Court ruling in favor of allowing access to the abortion pill mifepristone, while the court hears cases about the drug. Fox's Alexandria Hoff reports.
What this decision does is ensure that the abortion drug mifepristone will remain freely available as lawsuits seeking to restrict it make their way through the lower courts. The Supreme Court granted the emergency request by the Justice Department and the pill's manufacturer, Dranko, just hours before restrictions were set to go into effect, putting on hold a preliminary injunction issued by a U.S. district judge in Texas back on April 7th. In that case, it sought to limit access to the drug while pro-life groups challenged the pill's regulatory approval. The Supreme Court's brief order blocked such restrictions.
President Biden released a statement saying that he supported the FDA's approval of the drug. A North Carolina man accused of shooting 3 people, including a child, is being extradited back to North Carolina from Florida. Fox's Steve Harrigan has more.
24-year-old North Carolina man made his first appearance in court in Florida after being accused of shooting a father, a mother, and a 6-year-old girl. The events came after the group of children were playing basketball out in the street. The ball rolled into the yard of 24-year-old Robert Singletary from Gastonia, North Carolina. He went into his house, came out with a gun, and began firing. The girl's father tried to distract him. He was shot in the back. He's in critical condition. The mother was hit in the elbow, and the 6-year-old girl took fragments to the face.
Despite a ceasefire in Sudan between the paramilitary rapid support forces and the country's army, more fighting has broken out in and around the capital of Khartoum. The sound of gunfire and explosions filling the streets. More than 400 people have been killed so far. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Partly to mostly cloudy overnight, chilly with freezing temperatures in the normally colder spots, a low 36. Cold tomorrow with low clouds, high 46 to wrap the weekend. Warmer come Monday with intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 55. Morning shower on Tuesday, cool with a blend of sun and clouds, high 53. I'm Ruth O'Brien on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
This is Mike Gallagher. Join me for an unforgettable experience overseas this October. Dennis Prager and I are exploring the Holy Land on the Stand With Israel tour with our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. This trip of a lifetime to Israel is one you won't want to miss. Register today. Go to standwithisraeltour.com, standwithisraeltour.com, or call Inspiration Tours directly, 855-565-5519. That's 855-565-5519.
Cable news. Noisy, out of touch, on repeat. Tired of all the lookalikes? So are we. Salem News Channel is here to change the game. Streaming 24/7, free on your TV with the greatest collection of conservative voices. Home to Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Like you, we say what's wrong and what's right. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Salem News Channel. We're the answer to the mainstream media. Learn more at snc.tv.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts: knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
Hi, this is Carl Amari.
I'm Lisa Wolf. Join us every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. for all things entertainment on Hollywood 360.
If you love classic radio shows, The Shadow, Jack Benny, The Lone Ranger, Dragnet, Gunsmoke, and many more, we have them for you on Hollywood 360.
We'll also present trivia contests with prizes, showbiz news, celebrity interviews, games, and movie reviews.
So don't miss Hollywood 360 every Saturday night beginning at 8 p.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Black and Right Radio on AM 560, The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio. If you missed that first and second hour, especially that second hour, head over to 560theanswer.com. Download the podcast so that you can listen to it at a later time. You don't have to worry about any of the commercials. Also, share the feed, share the lives. As we're on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. Rumble is starting to really grow on that channel, so please go and like it. I hate that I don't have my old YouTube account because I had to start over. So it's called Black and Right Radio 2.0 on YouTube, and we're also always on Facebook as well. All right, Rebel Lady, you wanted to go into the process, the technical, as it pertains to a lot of these shootings, and go ahead.
Right. Well, the Constitution requires that a process be followed, which is there's a shooting. And as we saw in Kansas City, we'll talk about some other ones, that this homeowner shot an individual, a young black child, 13 years old or so.
16.
16. Shoots him. Police respond. They now have to figure out what happened. And in Missouri, it's 24 hours to make a decision on charging, where Illinois is 48 hours.
Right.
So now the clock is ticking from the time they get called to decide if they're going to arrest the person or not without a warrant. So everybody's in a big rush. And now, because the victim is black and the shooter is white, the media is all over it. I want to talk about at some point here the shooting in North Carolina where the shooter was black, the 6-month-old and the parents are white. Why is that treated differently than anything else? Because, again, a child was shot. And this all happened back to back to back. So the process should be the same, no matter if it's North Carolina, no matter if the prosecutor's white and the suspect is black or vice versa. And the police officers, doesn't matter what their backgrounds are. But I want to lend that into you, Verlon, because
wait, let him finish.
You spend a lot of time talking about shootings where a white person shoots a black person. Now let's talk about the reverse roles of it.
Okay, well, listen, in different states, there's different laws. I don't know how long they have in Carolina to charge somebody with the crime. But at the same time, this guy went straight on the run. So he had a warrant issued out to him for him anyway. They found him down in Florida. He got charged.
I'm sorry, it's a 6-year-old. So it's a 6-year-old that was shot.
Right, a 6-year-old and the parents.
A ball rolled on this man's lawn.
It's very stupid.
He opens up fire on the family.
Yeah, he might have been racist too. But I want to tell you, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about Hispanic guy.
Don't skirt.
Oh, no.
Question, though.
But I want to go into an issue that white people don't talk about. White on white crime. Now, it was this young couple and a friend in a rural area. We've all been lost before. And they drove into this guy's driveway, which looks like a road, till they got almost up to his house. They didn't even get to his house. They didn't ring his doorbell. They didn't do nothing. This 65-year-old white guy came outside, starts blasting at the boyfriend and girlfriend, kills the young lady. This is white on white crime. 65-year-old dude, all wound up, killed this beautiful young woman, and nobody really wanted to talk about it in the media. I think one outlet that I saw on TV, and this is white, right? But the thing about it is, no host talked about it, no radio host. They don't want to talk about white on white crime.
It doesn't fit the narrative,
right? And then I want to talk about all three of these subjects. Okay, I want to go to the next subject. This beautiful Mariah Carey looking cheerleader walked up to the wrong car, opened the door, and saw it wasn't her ride and said, "Oh, I'm sorry," went to walk away. Hispanic man gets out of the car, not shoot from in the car, gets out of the car and guns the girl down. It's a miracle she's not dead.
This was in Texas, right?
Yeah, and this was in Texas. And
he shot 2 cheerleaders.
Was it Austin?
Well, the other girl got grazed because I seen her talking to the class and let the class know that she was still alive, and everybody cheered. So and then this is a Hispanic dude shooting an interracial woman. Yeah. All right,
but does that fit the narrative?
Well, this was talked about. This woman was popular. The father wants to kill somebody,
which I would understand,
right? And then to go into Dennis's point of this black man shooting a kid for a ball and then shoots the parents that comes out to help the kid.
And everybody survived, right?
Everybody survived. This guy took off. I don't know what his problem was. I don't know if he was hopped up on drugs or he was wound up. Because he's not an old man. He's a young guy. So I don't know what his problem was. Then you got all of the black teens that went downtown to riot. And the ones that went for a smash.
They weren't all teens.
They were, Dennis looked it up. They were from 8 to 10 to 12 to 14 to 16 to 18. It was
you saw people older than that there.
Okay.
They were.
Yeah, they were. It was all ages. And then you have in California smash and grab. So you've got all of this violence. And this is my overall point before Dennis starts talking. America has become too violent. It's more violent than I've ever seen. It used to be restricted to certain areas. Now it has spilled over into all of America, and we're getting a taste of what America has become. Everybody's all wound up, and I'm gonna give you a solution, a summary of what I believe. Number one, I blame it on Democrats, not the Republicans, because Republicans are always on defense. The Democrats, for every so-called mass shooting they deem a mass shooting, they blow it up. They lay into it all day. Then you have the TV talkers on both sides, Democrats and Republicans, with inflammatory language all day long. And yes, talk radio, we have hosts that are inflammatory to the first power. You got people like Mark Levin. I've listened to him for years. I know he goes there.
Good Lord!
You have Michael Savage. He's one that's just off the chain. You have talk show hosts on radio that can influence people. So I'm going to circle all the way back.
Wait, time out. No, wait, hold on. I don't think it's new. And here's the reason why I don't think it's new. I think it's just now being reported on. And here's the reason why. There are more white people in prisons, Villan. Nobody wants to talk about that, though.
No.
What?
No, it's more. I think
No.
It's
There
more
are
black
more
people
white
in prison.
people in prison per population. Yes.
No. I don't
Yes.
think so. I don't think so. I've heard this report. It's more if the due to our number of being close to 13%. Dennis is looking it up. Dennis is looking it up right now. It's more black people in prison compared to whites. But let me don't throw me off. I'm gonna forget.
No. Wait, no. I wasn't done. Done with my. Y'all filibustering the time. Let me talk now.
Okay.
What?
No, he is filibustering.
Yeah.
But he's right. Here's what happens when you defund the police and the justice system never gets to operate like it used to. Now people will take justice into their own hands, and they'll dispense what they think is justice.
Right.
I could never understand why somebody would shoot a 6-year-old on their yard. I can understand why an 84-year-old man might be scared of somebody at their door. I don't understand why somebody would get out of their car and start shooting, even if it is their car. It's a piece of property. But again, each circumstance needs to be looked at not in the frame of reference of race. It needs to be looked at as the crime that was occurring or alleged circumstances around, is there a crime or not? But we don't look at that because the only thing we're ever interested in nowadays is race. It's race. That's it. And race is used to decide everything. That's it.
But let me circle back to the 84-year-old white guy that shot this 16-year-old. You don't know what he's been listening to or watching on TV. You don't know why he's wound up. Everybody's so wound up that you sit. Listen, I called in the Sean Thompson show one day, and I was on 79th in Ashland, and we were talking, and some guy opened my car door. I was waiting on my date to come out from Nick's Gyros, and this guy opened the door. He's looking at his lottery ticket. I didn't just want to pull out a gun and blow the guy away. He honestly walked up to the wrong car. Everybody on radio was shocked, like, oh my God, what happened? No, I just told the guy, hey man, you at the wrong car. Sean was like, oh my God, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. This guy opened my car door. You just don't fly off the handle. We as influencers, need to tone down the rhetoric because these people are on edge and they're ready to snap.
No. Because the rhetoric is not coming from our side of the aisle. The rhetoric is coming from these leftists and these progressives. That's where it's really coming from. That's where it's really coming from. To say that, no, that's just it. They want us to shut up. See, the problem is they've shut white people down so much that they can't even say nothing. Oh, you're racist, you're homophobe, you're this, you're that. And now people are starting to push back against this nonsense. No, push back. That's the problem. That's been the problem. That's why we have so much angst in so many communities. Because nobody wants to have that conversation. And we look, a black guy, half black guy, white guy, having a conversation about it. That's what we have to do. We'll be right back.
Don't put your blame on me.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
A plus-size influencer named J-Bay. Air travel should be comfortable and accessible for everyone, regardless of size. The mistreatment of plus-size passengers is unacceptable. I give a disapproving look to anybody who looks to sit next to me.
Doesn't matter if you're fat, skinny, male, female. Well, do you give the look, don't even talk to me?
Yes, I don't want to talk to people.
Okay.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature has been using whole fruits and vegetables to change lives for decades. But did you know about Balance of Nature's revolutionary fiber product? Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice uses a well-researched blend of whole fiber sources, such as psyllium husk, flaxseed, whole monk fruit, and whole apple, to provide your body with powerful nutrition. It contains 12 carefully selected spices, including cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, and cumin, just to name a few. Each ingredient helps in getting the essential nutrition you need. It supports overall wellness and gut health, giving you the ability to live your best life no matter your age. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies and fiber and spice work together as Balance of Nature's whole health system. Get the most nutrition you can by upgrading to the whole health system today. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. And for a limited time, get 50% off your upgrade when you use discount code CHICAGO.
Have you been lied to? Lied to by politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Navy Dowdy from right here in the Chicago area, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth. Because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I said enough. I've discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Navy Dowdy & Associates now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-392-9595. 1-800-392-9595. Again, 1-800-392-9595.
The Chicago Police Memorial Foundation is proud to support AM 560 The Answer. As a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation, the foundation provides support for the families of fallen and catastrophically injured Chicago police officers. To date, 599 Chicago police officers have lost their lives in the line of duty. Most recently, Officer Andre Lasso was killed March 1st of this year. Over $18 million in assistance has been provided to Chicago police families in need. To support the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, please visit cpdmemorial.org. Sign up for the Run to Remember happening June 17th, a 5K run walk, or purchase a raffle ticket to win a 2022 Dodge Charger Scar Pack Plus or $30,000 cash. Only 1,500 tickets will be sold. For more details, please visit cpdmemorial.org. That's cpdmemorial.org. Help provide financial assistance to the families of Chicago's fallen and catastrophically injured police heroes. Visit cpdmemorial.org.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome back to Black and Right with John Anthony. I just want to quickly say something. The report that I was reading about, there's more white prisoners. That was in the federal prison. I do know that the gap is closing between there are more black people in state prisons. But Dennis, you and I, we've talked about this when I was in the General Assembly. Explain why that to be so.
Well, as I said, actually, I was on a disparate sentencing commission where I authored a minority opinion that the reason that minorities are overrepresented in prison is because 96% of gangs in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois are comprised of minority people. Therefore, they are more likely to come into police contact. They are more likely to have a police record. They are more likely involved in longer-term sentences based on that. And as I have talked about for as long as I can remember, I have dealt with intergenerational gang members who are growing up in the gang. And so that is different than any other city in this country. It's different than LA. It's different than New York. The gangs here started, I think it was late 40s or early 50s, and it has continued from there, and the gangs have spread out. Yeah. Those are real numbers that have been published in state findings and in different professors that have written about the subject. So I don't make up the numbers,
right?
But I've been accused of being part of of a disparate system, of course. But again, you're prosecuting people based on the crimes they commit, not based on the color of their skin.
Correct.
So that's where we get off. But I do want to transition to flash mobs. Remember, it used to be called flash mobs?
Oh, mob action.
Yeah.
Mob rule.
Well, it's mob action.
Mob action.
So I was going back in the time capsule about 10 years ago, and a friend of mine named Kwame Raoul, who was a state senator, who is now the attorney general, and a friend of mine named Christian Mitchell, who was a freshman representative, I believe, from Hyde Park. They both passed an enhancement bill. Believe this or not.
Wow.
They enhanced flash mobs using social media from regular mob action from 1 to 3 years, from 3 to 6 years.
Yeah.
And Governor Quinn signed it. Because remember back in 2010 and 11 and 12 and all that, remember we started having Occupy Wall Street, which I spoke against. There's a lot of white people in Occupy Wall Street. I didn't want them pushing my wife around when she was leaving work, or anybody else's wife or child, or people just trying to get to and from work. You want to protest? Fine. It's not about protests. But they passed enhanced legislation to allow for prosecution of this, what we have seen happen last weekend in the city of Chicago.
What's wrong with you?
You know what's wrong with me?
No, I'm the
is that I actually believe in the rule of law, Verlon. I don't like to deal with emotion and explanations and rationale for bad behavior and calling me
what
out.
You just did, you know conservatives will come after you because you cannot give credit to Democrats. Kwame Raoul and Quinn, you just put an X on your back.
Well,
no, because they weren't supposed to do that. That's his point.
Right. My point is they weren't supposed to do that. They did what was right.
My point, you don't supposed to speak to that
I
as
understand
a Republican.
that. I shouldn't. Right. I shouldn't speak to any Democrat.
I gave Kwame his due because of something he did.
You always get in the past, John. I don't know why conservatives they like you for some reason. They give you a pass.
They don't like.
You know why? You know why, Valon?
Why?
Because I tell the truth and I'm authentic with my truth.
You ain't black.
That's why.
Right. That's why you ain't black. You ish.
Nah, that's not why. That's not why. Trust me, that's not why.
Right. Remember, this white guy was the only guy that defended this guy in the House floor.
That's right.
When people of color called him out and said, and the same black caucus said he shouldn't be a member of the black caucus.
And you know what? They still hold that against you, and that's why you sitting here with us.
Well, and look, I am who I am. I was raised to respect one another. One of the things that was most important to me when I was taught about, you know what, by my parents was you respect everybody, you treat everybody the same way. I learned that in the courtroom. When you step in the courtroom, just because you're a lawyer doesn't mean you're any better than anybody else who steps in that courtroom. That means a defendant, that means a clerk, that means the judge. You're the same people as they are, and don't think you're any better. And if you do, people will figure it out. So if you're raised right and you have respect for the rule of law and you have respect for society, then you can interact in a positive way and make positive change. Here, we don't do that anymore. We reward bad behavior. We explain it away, and we are trying to destroy society because that's what's of value to the Democrat Party. And they're not even Democrats anymore, progressives or leftists, John. I take umbrage with that. They are socialists.
Yep.
They are Marxists. They are communists. They don't want to hear anything else, and that's how they will shut you down in 2 seconds. And I'm sure they've tried to shut you down in this show a number of times.
They have. They've actually, they were trying to stop me from even starting the show. They said I didn't deserve to have a show.
They're trying to make me an scapegoat.
Yeah, pretty much. That's totally factual. Let's go to Eduardo from Midway. Eduardo, welcome to Black and Right.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? 375 gas over here. I think we got we're beating
Where?
Chicago.
Where?
In Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
No, Tampa Bay.
Oh, shit.
Indiana is 375 too.
Man, it was $4.29.
I know. That's why I keep going.
Go ahead, Eduardo.
Yeah. So I wanted to comment. Here's an interesting thing. Governor Newsom is going to be sending the National Guard to find the fentanyl use. You got the Google guy. He makes like $226 million. I saw this on Drudge.
Jeez.
So this really has been more about upper class, middle class, lower class, more than it is about race.
Yeah.
That's what the Democrat Party doesn't get.
Well, wow. Hey, did you see that the FBI is charging those Chinese police officers that set up? I mean, the Chinese, nationals.
It's big news. Yeah, it wasn't big news when we.
I was about to give you credit for it, Eduardo. You was the first one to say it on radio.
Yeah. Yep. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Eduardo.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
Take it easy.
All right.
Thank you.
Valon, I have a feeling that my boy.
I know. I've been waiting.
Kelvin.
I've been waiting on him.
Is about to slam you. Kelvin,
I don't know.
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, your frustrated conservative shirt is on the way. Thanks so much, man.
I'm ready to rock it. I really appreciate it.
Go ahead, Kel.
Here's my thing. There are more blacks in state prison, today, because the blacks have not gotten true political representation that represent their community. Now watch this. We can go back to the 60s. The civil rights movement, it was a battle. Do you want to be color conscious or be color blind? And that has divided the black community from the 60s going forward. Then you have the breakdown of the family, which it was incentivized that the father be taken out of the home. Okay? Now, watch this. We say, call other people racist, we talk about racist, and then you start getting these state reps, you get these aldermen, and their job is to represent their community. Okay? What happens to the blacks is the black representative sell their community. They sell the broken down families. They incentivize. They make $1.6 million on housing. Okay? They make they'll do a program before they do business startup. Now, you want to make a Democrat mad, walk in one of their meetings and say, you know what, let's do talent assessments in this area. Let's put businesses back in this area. Let's put education back in this area. Let's do public health where we do affordable houses for couples only, right, to do the family structure. They will cuss you out and throw you out.
Yep.
Now, keep blaming the person. Yes, if you got a kid out here, man, that's hustling out, man, brothers, we all had to go out here and get it one way or another, but something happened with us that was devastating, that put us back on the right route and doing what was right. But some of these people don't have that opportunity, man. They got to hustle to eat. But now, where is the alderman? Where is the mayor? Where is the business leaders? See, when you're talking conservative, it's personal responsibility. Limited government, our rights come from God. But the black people, we seem to be the lapdogs, and I'll say this boldly. The Democrats are the same garbage every election. They talking about, I'm for the blacks, and they put two white men up to be president. Then, I love this one. Y'all remember when the 20 Republicans was trying to, hold McCarthy's feet to the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Democrats, the Gets, they nominated Byron Donalds for Speaker of the House. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
Wait, Kelvin, Kelvin, hold your thought. We got to go to break. I'll let you finish that thought when we come back from break. Hey, Rebeletti, did you ever work with a Bill Kelly when you were a prosecutor?
I don't think so.
There's a listener on Twitter saying she wanted to, I don't even know if it's a male or female, but wanted to know that. So, Bill Kelly, go back through your repertoire. We'll be right back.
What happens when two of the sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle sit down and go beyond the talking points? Find out on Tuesday, April 25th, when AM 560's Dan Proft goes head-to-head with Juan Williams from Fox News at Beyond the Talking Points, presented by Fox Valley Coins, live at the Meridian Banquet and Conference Center in Rolling Meadows. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by Blue Star Security.
Fox News, I'm Laura Cantor. The Supreme Court temporarily preserving access to the abortion pill, mifepristone.
The order, which is a temporary victory for the Biden administration, puts on hold a lower court ruling to roll back FDA approval of the drug. Mifepristone has been approved for use in the U.S. since 2000.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. Former President Trump, who is running again for the White House, speaking Friday night at the Lincoln Reagan dinner in Fort Myers, Florida.
We have to finish what we started. We were doing things that nobody thought possible. We have to finish what we started. And that means on the world stage also, because the world is laughing at us. The world is taking advantage of us like they have never taken advantage before.
Trump leads the Republican field in most polls. President Biden is planning to announce he's running again. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, it's Sean Thompson. MyPillow is excited to bring you their biggest bedding sale ever. My friend Mike Lindell created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton. It's called Giza. It's ultra soft, breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you will receive 50% off Giza Dream sheets. You'll receive a set for as low as $29.98 with promo code LIBERTY. Go to MyPillow.com, use promo code LIBERTY. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, the MyPillow towel sets, and so much more. Call 1-800-489-0201, use promo code LIBERTY, or go to MyPillow.com. Make sure to use promo code LIBERTY. Say it loud, say it proud, LIBERTY.
Dr. Gorka here, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the 100% drug-free Relief Factor. We all deal with aches and pains in our day-to-day lives, and I have had my fair share, including injuries like a detached quad muscle that I can tell you fell into the category of really bad pain. But I've been able to manage the pain by taking Relief Factor. It helps your own body to attack and fight off sources of inflammation, the source of most of our aches and pains, and I've loved it for years now. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick starter pack for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com, call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
TV news. It's a love-hate relationship. Well, let's be honest, more hate. We agree. That's why we're different. Salem News Channel has assembled the greatest collection of conservative minds all in one place. Home to Charlie Kirk, Hugh Hewitt, Eric Metaxas, and more. There's finally a place on TV for lovers of freedom like you. Watch anytime on any screen, free 24/7. Find what you're looking for at snc.tv. That's snc.tv.
Retirement planning can be complicated. From asset and legacy protection to retirement income and extended care, you need a plan. Tune in to Retirement and Income Radio, hosted by well-known Chicagoland financial educator Mark Kohler. Mark helps listeners in or near retirement protect their savings from market volatility while creating lifetime guaranteed income. Listen to Retirement and Income Radio Sunday afternoons at 3:30 on AM 560 The Answer, or call Mark now at 844-619-SAFE.
Hi friends, Jim Boswell here. Are you moving long distance? Whether it's 300 miles or 3,000 miles, moving is very difficult. iStar Drive is a unique 5-star service that is sure to save you money, reduce stress, and make your move easier than ever. You rent the truck, you pack the truck, and we drive the truck. No waiting weeks for your belongings or paying unexpected fees. We even tow your vehicle. Business is simple. Make every customer's experience so valuable they can't imagine having done it without you. Visit WeDriveYourTruck.com, click on Request My Driver for a free, no-obligation quote in minutes. No hassles, no unwanted calls. Our goal is to be recognized as the best option and clear choice to safely move families throughout the United States. WeDriveYourTruck.com. Type AM560 in the Referred By box for a special discount. WeDriveYourTruck.com. The most valuable service in moving you didn't know existed.
We now return to Black and White on AM 560. The Answer. Here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and White Radio. On AM 560. The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony. Hoff Daddy, you bring great joy to me. Look, joined live in studio by the troublemaker Verlon Galloway and the prosecutor Dennis Repoletti. Kelvin, go ahead and finish your thought, brother.
Yeah. The point I was making that if the Democrats was really about blacks, when they nominated Byron Donald, we could have had the first black speaker.
Yeah.
And then you could have just voted him in. Simple as that. Yeah. Okay? But it's not about blacks with them. What it's about is it's a great train robbery. And they make money off our misery. So until we start holding and I'm watching this indictment with Trump very, very carefully, because if he can get indicted for campaign finances, here's my warning to all the exploiters of the black community: we pulling your campaign finances, because I guarantee you the money you getting is not going towards your community. See, I'll say this and I'll stop, because if you look at how the Hispanics doing it, they got us all pressing 1 for English, because they came in with representation, represent their community. That's why we got to press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. Now we sitting up here being the lapdogs of every white liberal that Malcolm X warned us about, the sheep in wolf clothing, dividing our families, cutting our boys' genitals off, getting this trans junk going on in our community, and ain't nobody still talking about business development and family structure. So when I hear the Democrats talking about we for the blacks, man, miss me with all that noise. Because as a black man that's black and right, I'm getting mine, and I'm coming after the corruption.
Amen.
I'm coming for you.
Hey, Kelvin, you talking about this right here?
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling, and you take him for a friend.
Yep.
Hey,
that's what it is.
Hey, and they've wrought so much destruction to the black community, and one day I hope the black community realizes how their policies have affected them and shifted and changed, because actually there's been no change in black communities. All the same, they continue like how I heard Brandon Johnson talked about kids have been left behind. Tell me how. Chicago's been led by Democrats for decades. Go throughout most of the major cities. They've been led by liberals for decades. How have they been left behind?
And how are why are those communities marginalized?
Right.
Who marginalized them?
Well, yeah. I'm gonna tell you this, Kelvin. You was talking about family structure and things of that nature. Well, Dan Proft and Amy was talking about this. I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday, but they were talking about this. And I called in and I told them, the Marxism teaches against the nuclear family. When you talk about family structure, you can't even speak to what's positive about having a mother and a father and being raised in a traditional family. If you try to say a traditional family is the way to go, they're going to tear you down. Boom. You should be able to have 2 mommies, 2 daddies, or transgender for a parent, or a single mother. That's perfectly okay. You cannot define what a family is. See, that's the problem. You thinking too much like how we were raised. You can't think like that anymore.
Wrong.
Yes, sir.
I had 2 properties here in Springfield. And I said, I'm doing another program. It's called Affordable Houses for Couples Only. And if they stay together, I'll sign the deed of the houses over to them. Wow. If they break up, everybody moves. Everybody moves. Okay? Stay together or get out.
Wow.
And I had the churches come against me.
Whoa.
The mayor came against me. Everybody called me a sexist. Then I said, you know what y'all doing? See, as a black man in America, y'all trying to wipe out my legacy. You trying to wipe out the memory of a father, because that's why they're going after Clarence Thomas. Now, do y'all know who Clarence Thomas replaced, right?
Yeah.
Thurgood Marshall.
Right.
Okay? So if they get Clarence, they wipe out every memory of a black Supreme Court justice out here to make the black people subservient to their agenda. So if we don't stand up, man, and if we don't keep doing these things that like you guys are doing, which I tip my hat, bro, because I'm going to go broke supporting y'all, but I don't care. We got to keep this thing going to show our young kids and say, hey, look, there's a black man. He's a conservative. He's successful. He's in business. He's taking care of his family. Matter of fact, he's giving back to his community, and he don't need that program from the government, because if you look at all the money, fellas, it's going to go to their pockets. None of that money goes to our people. It goes to whoever goes running the program.
The gatekeepers.
I just have one question for you. I know you've been listening to the whole show.
Real quick.
What do you think about Phil's commentary?
Phil?
Real quick. You got 30 seconds.
Phil, as a prosecutor, has to look at the law.
No. Phil, the black guy.
Yeah, the black guy.
Phil from Blue Island.
Oh, Phil from Blue Island. Man, I have to go back and check it out. I'll chime in, man, later on that one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, Kelvin, thanks so much for joining us, man. I really appreciate. Thank you so much for all the support as well, man. I really, really, really appreciate it.
I didn't know you looked like Phil.
Take care, brother. Hey, I just sent George the clip of you defending me down in Springfield. Hopefully we can get it up before the show is over. I want to play it before the show is over because you were white. You weren't supposed to. I didn't know I was white. I didn't know I was ish back then. How about that? I thought I was black. Just it. Black and Puerto Rican, I should say.
If you don't talk about black issues, you're not black.
We'll be right back.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables, changing the world one life at a time.
I really love your product. I'm 38 years old. I'm a combat war veteran, so I've been through a lot. My body's been through a lot. I did 2 tours in Iraq. So now I'm a school teacher, middle school. I take it every morning, and I definitely notice the difference. I have more energy. I feel healthier. It worked for me.
Well, ever since I've been taking it, I've been feeling so much better. I have noticed the concentration has gotten better. I have more energy. I love it. I'm going to be a customer forever. And I'm completely happy.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This is Jerry Boyer for townhall.com. You probably know who your governor is and your senators too, but do you know who your state treasurer is? Auditor General? How about your comptroller? Well, it's time to start paying attention because these officers have emerged as the new front line against the intrusion of politics into finance under the guise of ESG. On my podcast, Meeting of Minds, I recently interviewed John Moranti, treasurer of Nebraska, an agricultural state. He warns that the war against fossil fuels is now turning into a war against agriculture, as government and activists push companies to divest not just from the energy industry, but from industries that use energy. And farms use energy. Whether they know it or not, ESG activists would create a world where we are colder, more hungry, and in the dark. It's time to start engaging with the companies you own in your 401k. Remember, they work for you. I'm Jerry Boyer.
Publicpolicy.pepperdine.edu.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gevalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony on AM 560. The Answer.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560. The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio with the Troublemaker.
What's up?
Who's caused so much trouble today? I had to quiet down that conversation for a bit because my blood pressure was rising a little bit too much.
Yeah, you act like a DJ. You played a bunch of rap songs, and then you had to play a slow song.
I had to break it down, brother. And then the prosecutor, Dennis Rebelletti, is joining us as well.
Glad to be here, John. I want to throw a shout out to Phil for opening up, as they call it, as a prosecutor, opening the door.
Yeah.
So I could talk about my family and how I was able to come from humble beginnings to have an opportunity to be where I'm at today. So I think that's the legacy we all should have.
I totally agree. And Villan, the little nice little shot you tried to do at the end of that last segment.
Yeah.
I do believe we're probably the only show in the conservative side that does address the black issues.
And yeah, nobody does it the way we does. But I want to do a hat tip to Dan Proft.
Yeah.
Ever since after November the 8th, but I was the first one to really talk about race. But I think like 2 months before the mayoral.
Wait, time out. What do you mean?
No, I'm just talking about as far as
you mean.
Talking about
you go again. Wait, no, I gotta correct you. You said you were the only one.
I mean, talking about why when it comes to us losing. That's what I'm talking.
Junior.
Not the only me and you, but not the only people that talk about race. I'm just talking about why we lost.
Because remember Charles and I, when Charles was here, Charles and I talked about it.
Right. But Dan, 2 months before the mayoral race was heating up, he's been going at it. I thought he would quit after Brandon Johnson got elected.
Yeah,
but he's still been going strong. So I want to give a hat tip to Dan Proft. Man, you got to talk about it. Dan, everybody else that's talking, we won't get past this stuff if we don't talk about it. If you stay in your respective corners, we'll never move past race. We got to talk. I don't care how many people are upset when I come here on Saturdays. We got to talk about it. Otherwise, it'll never change. It'll never change.
Phil says he's always been called a racist for his comment. I don't think Phil's a racist. I think Phil comes from a generation where, there was a particular he's experienced stuff that Valon, you and I have never experienced.
Oh, that's true.
I've
heard about it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I give Phil that. Let's go to Man on the Street real quick. Man on the Street, welcome back to Black and Right.
Hey, it's Mark Watermore, Man on the Street, real quick. I missed calling in last week, but I'm listening to you guys. Great show. Hey, you guys, one thing I want to talk about, and I'll hang up, but retail theft in Chicago and these riots. We need to get this under control, and my solution is arresting people. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about arresting people or if we're just going to talk about them being, demonized. So,
we have to talk about the root causes, Mark.
And what are those root causes?
Yeah, Dennis and I just had this conversation.
We did have it. I want to know what the root causes are.
You got to let the mayor tell you. I don't know what's on his mind. Right. I'm not the.
You're the progressive here right now.
I'm not the African American whisperer. I'm the Caucasian whisperer.
That is true. So I mean, you might know what I'm thinking.
All right, go ahead. You got anything else, Mark?
Hey, the root causes are the terrible Chicago public schools. So, hey, great show. Maybe I'll see you guys Tuesday at the Dan Proft.
You will.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You will.
All right. Thanks so much, Mark. Yeah, you know what? You hear this. Most of the root causes are the policies that they've and the legislation that they've passed. That's the root cause.
And we talked about this.
Yes.
So why did Kwame and Christian Mitchell pass that legislation 10 years ago? Now they couldn't do that, could they?
No.
Because the mayor said that we are demonizing children.
Right.
We're demonizing children. Nobody demonized any of those children.
Right.
They are flash mobs. They choose to come down to Chicago in the downtown, and they choose to enter into confrontational circumstances, and then they commit crimes. Then they beat up tourists. Then they jump on squad cars and beat up CTA bus drivers. And we're supposed to believe that this is all pent-up rage from something else.
The Great Society.
The Great Society. So it's okay. It's justified and rational.
No, it's not okay.
To a defense.
No, it's not okay.
Defense.
But they talked about this on the Morning Answer. Why? And they talked about family upbringing, and they wanted to talk about why these kids are the way they are. And I called in about that one too. Listen, these are confused, angry kids. They don't have the traditional family structure. So why? That's why they come out beating up, and they don't even know who they are. They don't know if they're a man or woman. They don't know if they're trans. They don't know what's wrong with themselves.
Can we stop making that excuse for the black community?
What? This is what's put into their head in school.
Dude. I grew up single mother. My mother was a single mother. I mean, listen.
Can I say something,
go ahead.
John? I have been told, when I was a prosecutor, I was told a number of times by defendants of all different colors and ages. Sometimes I was the first person to say no to them. No, you're not going home on bond today. No, you don't get to go to school or get to go to your job tomorrow because the buck stops here. Your parents may have let you do certain things. Society may have let you do certain things, and you can blame all kinds of stuff. But here we don't do that because everybody has equal protection. You end up in a courtroom, there's a reason you're there. Right. But we now have the mayor of Chicago said, I understand this, and it's okay. It's like sliding in the home plate.
Yeah, no discipline either. Don't forget that.
No discipline, but the mayor-elect said it's like my kid sliding down the stairs in the home plate.
Right.
And they make silly decisions.
Right.
Carjacking, and let me bring up to another case.
Real quick,
then.
we got 30 seconds.
Carjacking, 13, 16-year-old carjacker, city of Chicago, steal a car, hit a pickup truck, kill a six-month-old baby, injured the other people in the car, and the state's attorney of Cook County charged 2 misdemeanors, criminal trespass to motor vehicle.
Were they trans?
No, huh?
It doesn't matter.
Were they trans? It does matter.
It does
now.
not matter.
Okay.
Nowadays.
Wait, time out. Blexit, you're right. More excuses. We got to stop making excuses, man. Stop making excuses for what's happening in the black community and actually fix it. Glenn, we'll take you when we get back.
Have you been lied to? Lied to by politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Navy Dowdy from right here in the Chicago area, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth. Because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans and 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I said enough. I've discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Navy Dowdy & Associates now to get a free copy of my book and talk to me personally to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits. And I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-392-9595. 1-800-392-9595. Again, 1-800-392-9595.
Dennis Prager here, and now is the time to sign up for our trip to Israel this fall. Mike Gallagher and I are headed back to Israel this October. Don't miss the Stand with Israel tour with our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. We'll visit amazing places in Israel, sure to profoundly inspire you with every step. Visit standwithisraeltour.com, standwithisraeltour.com, or 855-565-5519.
AM radio provides always-on news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports. And it's also a vital service that provides important emergency information when your community needs it most. Tell Congress you need AM radio to stay in your car. Because when cell phones and the internet are down, this free emergency service is critical. And when you don't have electricity, radio in the car is often your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey. That's right.
Black and Right continues on AM 560. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. I'm going to go straight to the phone lines because I want to end the show with this audio that I had George download. Glenn from Oak Brook, make your point succinct and quick, please.
So character counts. It's character that's going to solve the problems of kids. It's easier to fix broken kids than broken adults.
Amen.
Money won't solve it. Money won't solve it. Jobs won't solve it. You have to have character, and you got to have good education to get out of poverty.
Amen. Thank you so much, Glenn. Hafted, you got that audio. So can I set the stage real quick? Now, most people don't know this, but Linda Chaplavia, former state rep, her and I we knew each other. She knew my wife more than she knew me, but she knew who I was. I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie when this happened. Roll the audio out there.
What we find is there's a lot of issues coming up in newspapers saying how they're underperforming or their expulsion rate is high, their suspension rate is high. There's starting to become a segregation of children between the haves and the have-nots. Listen to me, minorities. I'm over here because we're all over on this side, right? What you'll also find, we have a half. We have a half. But right now, as it looks...
Excuse me. Members in the chamber, can we have some order, please?
That's fine.
Respect
They've been disrespectful, so
and bring the noise level down. Representative Rebeletti, for what reason do you seek recognition?
Uh-oh. Yeah, so basically what they were saying, she was saying that we had a half, basically calling me a half-breed.
Mr. Speaker, I cannot believe what a distinguished lady from Aurora just did. And I have a profound amount of respect for her. But when you turn and only look to the Democratic side of the aisle and say, oh, minorities only, I guess we don't have any minorities on my side of the aisle. But what I will also say is that when I represent 108,000 people, it's a very diverse group. It's not one monolith, not one particular demographic or background. It's 108,000 people of all different backgrounds. So I don't think that's very fair, Representative, what you did. And that's terrible. I would hope that these debates do not become personal in nature. They should be held only to the substance of these pieces of legislation. That's the reason I rise, Mr. Speaker. I don't like to hear that. There should be civility and professionalism only, and we don't need to take personal issues out with one another.
Yeah, and I thought you weren't supposed to come to the defense or aid of a black person, Reverend.
I guess I wasn't supposed to, but I did because you are a colleague of mine. The representative was way out of line.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And everybody on the other side of the aisle laughed.
Yeah,
Staff members.
You see the video.
Members, if you go online, you'll see the video. They thought it was hilarious. So here's what the Republican Party is indicted on all the time. Oh, you don't have enough black members. You don't have enough Latino members. We didn't know of John Cabello at the time.
He was Mexican and white.
Mexican.
Mike Eunice.
Talk about him, Mike Eunice, who's Lebanese. I mean, it's just amazing that you paint this broad brush. But I demanded an apology from Speaker Turner, who was in the chair, and Linda finally relented and gave an apology.
Yeah, even the speaker and Mapes had a card waiting for me the next day, and Mapes pulled me to the side and was like, sorry about that. That's not who we are. We don't want you to think you're not wanted here.
And I believe that was about charter schools, wasn't it?
It was about charter schools.
But here, all the minorities are on this side. There's not any Republican minorities. And again, it's all broad brush. Only white men like me are on that side of the aisle. And maybe I shouldn't have defended you, John, I guess.
But you did.
But I did, because you know what? It was the right thing to do. You are a friend. You're a colleague. You represented 108,000 people.
That's right.
And nobody
95% white, too.
Right. And nobody should ever take anything like that.
That's right.
And call people names like that
Guys,
anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Belly of the Beast. I want to thank you, Rebeletti, you Troublemaker, for coming on. YouTube, Rumble, Facebook crowd. Thank you so much for sharing. Valon, 10 seconds. Go.
I love all of you. Tune in next week. I'm going to start some more trouble.
Hope to see you guys at Dan Props event Tuesday. See you next week.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With halfpriceschools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, halfpriceschools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child too. Just go to halfpriceschools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com. On the AM 560 mobile app. Tune in, iHeart, and on Odyssey.
More investigations on the horizon. I'm Laura Cantor, Fox News. With the Department of Justice launching a probe of Hunter Biden, House Republicans